Stop listening! Instead, stream the uncut version of this discussion by either or both, tipping us on Ko-fi or joining a membership on either Ko-fi or Patreon via the links in the description.
Then just put it on the shelf for
I'm
you?
pregnant. I'm not waddling my fat behind into a restaurant.
Oh, they
Not
brought
with
it out
ice
to
on
you?
the ground. No, ma'am.
You go through the drive-thru.
No, you go through the drive-thru.
Oh,
Sam.
clearly I've never used this function. When Taco Bell has the nacho fries, I am so furious because every time I see a commercial, I think it's a movie. And I get so excited for this movie. And then I find out it's a commercial for nacho fries. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I was invested in this movie.
They're gonna shoot me up full of drugs, and they'll.
I wish I could get an epidural.
Please push, and I'll be like, I'm too tired.
That little warm sensation that goes up your back. Anyway, Bridget,
I'm sorry, do you want the more specific one I was given, which was your baby is as big as a moderately successful game of Jenga.
Also very subjective. Like, what?
I'm going to have to clean out a trunk full of memories from up until the 2000s at some point out of my parents' house, so that's going to be fun.
I didn't
So
save it. I didn't save anything, Dave.
I just threw it in the trunk, just for the purposes of the junk.
Oh, yeah, I had a whole box full of tickets.
I can't
I
wait
wish.
to throw it all out.
No.
I'm like Rachel in some
Memories.
respects. I can't wait to be old and just not really care about my youth, actually. Just loving the moment with the arthritis, you
Because
know?
that's the only thing you can remember.
We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing programs beyond the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh. Most times we go deep. I'm your host, David Cameo, and I am joined by...
Moo.
Oh, wow. She's been waiting all day to say that.
Oh, wow. And Bridget, you can find me at youtube.com/@punkybrewster. That's PUNKY BRUISETER.
Karina. You can find me on TikTok at Karina Art.
Hi, I'm Jason. You can find me at Neo's the One on all the relevant socials.
And me, Rob, at Rob Stuff and Things on TikTok and YouTube.
Holy mackerel, everybody. Hot dog. You're here with us to talk about the season 2 finale of Fallout, titled The Strip. And may I remind you, it's getting very close to the moment where we pull all the Fallout designs. No, it's not really. It'll be a little while. Don't panic. Don't panic, I said. You can still go to squawkingdead.com, choose the main menu, choose shop merch,
Look at
hit
that.
the new store.
Just
and like
zoom in.
Jason
Just zoom in on Jason.
is showing off.
Look at
I can show in the post. Actually, I do these. Jason's wearing one of our print-on-demand designs with all the lovely caricatures that Karina designed that I arranged in a funny way. And our little Squawk Tech logo with the IP infringement. So, hey, get those while they last, everybody. At least it doesn't have the Fallout logo like one of his designs has.
Desist.
What were you thinking? Why didn't you go to squawkingdead.com when you had the chance and get the new Fallout merch? You could even get a Squawk Tech koozie. It's just very lovely, and you should. Here, I put it on the screen. Magic. There you go. Get it while supplies last or until time runs out, and then you'll be sorry. And hey, we are here to talk about the season 2 finale, and everything's kind of coming around full circle now on this darn show that's setting up so many things and probably not answering as many questions as it probably could have. I don't know, go around the room about that. First things first, though, before we even get to the title, I actually want to know if you were like me in that this episode in particular made you a little emotional. Rachel, I know you're already a little bit, right?
What?
I don't know. I channeled you in my watch for some reason. For some reason, who knows?
She's usually like the non-emotional one.
Yeah.
With specific things, you could tell maybe
Nah.
it might have been.
I'm trying to think of a moment. No.
Okay, we'll circle back to that.
I can't think of a moment in the episode that would.
Not worth bringing up now.
I think I know what Dave's
I will
hinting at,
definitely
but-
bring it up later. But yeah,
Oh,
Francisco says
okay.
very emotional, especially when the NCR showed up where I thought they were all DEAD. See, we'll get canceled if we use the word dead.
Which you just
Wait, I
did.
just
And
did.
you just did.
I was just yoking.
Yoking.
Anybody else for emotional though?
Nah.
I did feel a little bit with Cooper's storyline and then also with Lucy and her father. That was a little bit difficult to get through.
More than usual is really the point I'm making. Is usually you don't get this emotional in a Fallout episode. It'll usually
You do.
undercut itself in the next scene.
Yeah, true.
Gay. I was gonna say,
Like that.
are you calling me a big pussy, Rich? You're gonna use all the hard consonant words. Now I have to contemplate whether I beep those words. Leave it to the imagination.
That was pretty good. I don't know. I'm going on mat leave. You can cancel me, I guess, right before I go.
You could come back and go, I was a pregnant mother. How dare you for canceling me? Francisca says, yeah, the part with Lucy and Hank was emotional too because it was so hard doing that to your progenitor.
Progenitor.
Daughter.
Wow.
Daughter, right?
Or your progenitor is
Your
technically the father,
parent.
but I understood you
Okay.
loud and clear. Francisco.
Her to him. Okay,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he ultimately did it to himself.
Boom.
I think I was too busy just having general overall beef with this episode for me to get emotional.
I'm glad I asked.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not saying it was a bad episode.
It's just because she's a cow.
But
I'm on fire tonight, Dave.
You sure are.
it's the Taco Bell.
It's fueled me.
Live Moss, Bridget.
Oh my gosh.
I'm living so moss.
I wish we were all like you. Oh, Lord. Anybody else on the emotional front? Jason, anything? Are you dead inside?
Yeah, those same parts. I couldn't think of anything before that, but I think the part that got me was just seeing Lucy and Max just at the end finally reuniting.
Holding hands?
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, that part. That
Huh.
part got me a little bit.
I love
Aw,
hearing
he's a romantic.
the different points of view on this because I can see that. All this mess, you find somebody to share your burden.
Yeah,
Cute Bridget.
or just finally reuniting after an entire season. That always gets me when that happens in a show.
Mm.
They've been away from each other the whole season, and they finally meet up again.
Will they do it again next season? Oh, reason to be apart again. Why are they even together if they could just pull them apart again?
Lucy and Max reunite. I just picture her dad just sitting over in the background with no memories at all and just a blank slate, just like, what's happening?
How does the title bake into what we saw in this episode? The title is The Strip.
Thank you. I literally already forgot.
I knew it. That's why I said it. She reads the description, which is only a few words too, by the way.
No, I don't even read
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
All the storylines that
sometimes when
ended
you
up at
do-
the end, all of them, everyone met up or ended up on the strip.
Yeah.
Max and Lucy,
Right.
weren't they on
Yeah.
the
our
strip?
three main characters converged.
Wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's kind of the setting of the war that's going to happen. You could
Yeah.
see the Legion in the distance as Lucy and Max hold hands. They prep us with Macaulay Culkin, which has a name in the X-ray. Now that he's Kaisar, it still
they're calling
says...
him Kaiser, yeah.
I don't care. It
No,
doesn't
but
matter.
it doesn't say that in the X-ray.
What did it say?
It's Lacerta Legate.
Oh, he had
Legate
an actual
Lacerta?
name?
Yeah. Lacerta is the Latin for lizard, basically.
Oh.
Lizard man.
Oh.
Proto-Indo-European root lek, which also means to lick, or
A licking man.
Licking
To be slippery.
lizards?
A slippery man.
Ew.
Yeah.
Licking
A
lizards.
slippery man.
Slippery.
well, lizards.
Oh,
do
like
that-
slid
lizard
right into
lick.
that role.
That's a city in
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Oh, there you go. The earliest known use of Lacerta in English dates back to the late 1600s. Additionally, Lacerta has been used in classic Latin texts and modern scientific nomenclature to classify various species of lizards in the family Lacertidae. So things
Good to know.
mean something. He was a very slippery fella.
Things mean things.
Yes.
Lizard Legate. That's what we're going to call him, I hope. I don't know.
Lizzie?
Lizard.
If you think about it, lizards are cold-blooded, and I think you often associate cold-bloodedness with like the kind of mentality that the Legion has, where they don't really care about people. And he obviously didn't care about his fellow soldier. He just stabbed
Nope.
him in the stomach. And he's like,
Mhm.
nope, I'm Kaiser now. That's what the note said. Totally.
Pulled kind of a Stephanie, too, if you think about it. Did she
Yeah.
have to kill Woody or whatever she did with Woody, right? This is like one of the things they left behind. That
Never got
we can
that
find
Yeah,
out
they didn't
about.
tell us.
So since he put the crowd on, did he unite both legions? Are both sides following him now? Is that what
I'm
happened?
assuming
so,
so,
so.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I
and
think once he
the
got
other
the bones,
Kaisar
that
was
was
dead.
it. There was on the fight over anymore.
Yeah. They murdered all the leaders and I guess anyone who is like staunchly opposed is already dead.
Yeah, last time we saw them, were they converging on each other in like a big battle? You assume, whoever was left alive
Yeah.
are all together.
Cooper was like the Fort Sumter of the event that just ensued the Civil War.
I don't know, Dave. This isn't our world. This is Fallout's world.
3 episodes in a row. I can't handle this. Make me crazy. I guess it doesn't matter. How else does the strip relate to what we just saw?
Both are present and past is taking place on the strip too. So all the stuff that we see with Coop and Beverly.
House?
That's all.
Justin Trudeau?
And
Sure,
Barb.
that's
President of
present.
What's her name?
Canada?
Barb? No.
But the flashbacks we see, they're still in Vegas on the strip too.
There is wiggle room in this episode. A big overarching theme is the things that we do for our kids, good or bad. And I kind of even still thought of you, Ray, when it came to Hank specifically. And we talked about this a little bit when we were talking about Coop and even Barb, what you would do for your kid, the hell you would raise for them. And Hank isn't very different with respect to what he is endeavoring to do or what he's already put into motion. He claims, and we can argue about the claim, that he basically wanted to make the wasteland worthy of Lucy. Listen, again, I told you I'm a big softie. I want to believe you, Hank. You opened us up into this universe, even though you were dirtbag by the end of the first season. The strip, to me, feels like that thin line or that thin strip between what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. The things we probably shouldn't do for the sake of the people we love, but are going to do anyway because that's the way the real world works. It was a big super stretch.
And you're saying this in reference to Hank specifically?
In this episode, yeah. But also, Coop says it to Barb for her.
As he's
I'm
being
taking
arrested.
the fall. Yeah. At the end with the House of Un-American Activities.
I think what I see is Hank doing what Hank's going to do and justifying it by saying it's for Lucy, but I don't think it's genuine. I think he's just a awful D-bag and using Lucy as a cover, an excuse. I don't buy it.
Was this one of your beefs?
No.
Okay.
No, just my opinion of Hank.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah.
Let's take this a little further. Do you think any part of Hank, any of this has to do with Lucy?
No, absolutely not. I think he loves her. She's his daughter. That's genuine. I feel like he had all of this planned before Lucy even existed.
Yeah, 200 years
This was
ago.
always going to be the plan. Now that Lucy's in the picture, he's like, "Oh,
Sure.
I'm doing it for you." No, you were always going to do this.
My question is, did he start the plan prematurely to when he was going to? Because he didn't start it off until he got taken out of the vault by Moldaver.
I agree.
He was just living his life.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, you did kill
Maybe.
Shady Sands.
Right.
Yeah, you like blew up a whole town and whatnot.
But the mind control aspect, he wasn't really looking to do that, I don't think, anytime soon until he had to.
He might have been working with the Enclave this entire time.
And Stephanie is his wife.
Sure.
And like no one knew about that. He's been lying about that too the whole time.
Whoa. Slow
I
down.
know,
That's
we
a
have to get
whole
into
other
that,
thing.
right?
That is a whole other thing.
How many wives
but-
do you have? Yeah.
That was devastating for David.
Yeah.
He's like,
I
this
was devastated.
old dude.
Hold on. No, he can get it. It's fine.
He does TikTok, just so you guys know, the actor.
Kyle MacLachlan,
Kyle
Yes, he
Really?
does. Yes, he
Oh,
does.
really?
They're great.
Yeah.
I love them.
He does Instagram as well. It's
Free
the
Rachel,
same
pull up the
stuff.
pictures to see his abs.
What?
I said, pull up the pictures.
Oh.
Let's see his abs.
I thought you were saying you already did.
No.
Yeah, by default. Anywho, Hank even says he was kind of looking forward to going back to the vaults, maybe assuming that Lucy would take him there for her justice, etc. There's something to what he says, and maybe we're not to believe what he says, but the jig is up already. So, well, why wouldn't he? Do you think it's him trying to use a persuasion tactic to get her to stop doing what she's doing? He looks defeated. He looks like he's about to own what he's already implanted with the chip, which he waves. He's like, oh, it's in my neck. I know it's there. I know that you didn't do it while I wasn't looking or some dumb stuff.
And that's all fine and dandy, Dave. But here's the thing. Everything he's done is a manipulation. And I believe he's continuing to manipulate everyone right now. Lucy didn't press the button. He pressed the button. And then he goes like this. And suddenly I'm supposed to be convinced you don't have a memory anymore? Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. I no longer have a memory. My memory just reset because I looked down.
I'm
Come
inclined
on,
to
dude.
agree.
It's a good point.
I don't agree. He's faking. I think
Yeah.
he's faking.
That's
Yeah.
very
Okay.
possible because
That'd be
when
crazy.
we saw him turn it on for the 2 Legion soldiers, they were instant
It was instant. Yep.
personality change and automatically going off to do whatever they were going to do.
And he's
Under
just
the
like,
control of
oh, you have a smudge.
And she didn't.
Let me touch your face. It was a piece
I
of
know, it
hair.
was a piece
One.
of
It was,
hair.
you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
I
It's
couldn't
hair.
see properly because there were too
Hey,
many
hey.
tears in my eyes.
Act
Look
as
at
stupid as you
Softy
can.
over here.
Let me move that hair from your face, but you're covered in blood. No concern there.
Dave, you're like, this made me emotional. It didn't make me emotional because I was like, he's
Is this beef?
faking.
Is this Taco Bell beef?
Yeah. This isn't
see.
what I had
I see.
the biggest beef about.
No, me.
This
either.
is one
It's
item.
one of them. One item from the menu.
I liked the episode a lot. I've liked the whole
Yeah,
season.
me too. I feel alone now in my feelings.
Well,
It's
I
like
just
a
I
desert
think he's
island.
manipulating everything. This is the question I want to ask then. Did all of you accept that as face value that he had lost his memory?
No.
I did
Or was-
until right now.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Right, until right now, right?
I was just curious if one of you had been like, hey, well, he lies all the time. Maybe. Maybe he's also lying about this.
Well, see, that doesn't make sense either, because I do have something to say about what he said. He has his R&D team already on the surface with instructions written 200 years ago.
Yeah.
Then he has to be lying about that
Okay.
too.
He
Right?
might not be, but notice how he conveniently loses his memory at the exact moment in which he would reveal any more information about that.
True. There is a part of me that, as softy as I am, okay, the ghoul throws the pistol at her. It's up to her to decide. And then Hank takes the way out to remove that choice from Lucy, which you can see either way. You can see it the one way of like, you know, it was up to her. You took it away from her. Or you could see it the other way, which is what I thought maybe Ray would have been a little bit more emotional about. We've been wondering all this time, aside from the guy that Lucy kills in the shop, the guy who clearly murdered the shopkeeper in
Oh, yeah, and put him in a
Freeside.
barrel. Yeah.
Those clothes fit, yeah.
That's the only guy I think she killed ever. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to go through the memory banks of people she's killed. Yeah.
Other than the 3
And that was an accident.
ghoulified.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
and
the-
yeah,
the
and
ghouls.
technically-
The 3
And she was high.
Are
the
they
Elvis
alive?
schools.
They're alive.
They're
They're
just
feral, but they're alive.
Yeah.
And then now
Okay.
the congresswoman.
Okay, you big activists. Stop with this nonsense. They're ghouls. They're fun to kill. Also, you probably should.
They're
Ghouls have
alive.
rights, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Ghoul rights.
No, your
We're-
boyfriends are all dead.
Full lives matter.
No, they don't. I'm
They
like
do.
anti.
They do. Also,
Anti-ghoul.
okay.
And
Also,
It's
you're
a
definitely
feral
not part of the
ghoul.
NCR.
Also,
Be
dude had to
clear.
be walking around with 2 buttons because Lucy took the one that he had, and then he just pulled another one out of his pocket.
So does she even have the real one would be also my question. This is a huge manipulation, I think. And
Okay.
so I don't know because, you know, sometimes I come up with really cool ideas and then we get to the next season. They're like, nope, it's exactly what everyone thought it was. And I'm like, well, never mind. This could have been cooler, but
Oh, yeah.
fine. I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. I just think it's really suspicious that all of a sudden now he's like a kindly older man. And it's like, meh.
I can't prove that his mind is erased. I'm on that train, actually. Let me start by saying why I think his mind is erased outside of the emotional part. Because this episode also repeats the theme of what the Enclave does to people who help them. Karina, you pitched a good case the last episode. You got me. You got my waterworks going when she sees Diane Welch and she says, kill me repeatedly.
Mhm.
And she says also something else.
Stop him.
she did say stop him.
Kill
Just
me.
Hank?
Stop him. Yeah, I think so.
What does the Enclave do to the people who help them? There's Cooper. After he gives the cold fusion, what do? The U.S. government, the House Un-American Activities, which was a real thing, obviously, from the Cold War, post-World War II era, arrested him for Un-American activities. And then he's obviously canceled. They throw out the Vault Boy ads and all that stuff. That's fine. Then, who else? Hank is discarding himself. He helped the Enclave up to a point, and at that point, he's to do away with himself. Probably as instructed, too. There's a trajectory that's established as the result of action and reaction. So it makes sense to me that he would do this to himself and even Lucy so that it spares her in her own mind from the horrors of what he just wrought.
But truly, when has he shown genuine loyalty to anyone other than himself?
Well, we
Well,
don't know,
other than the
Bridget. We
Enclave.
just don't know. You like
I'm
that,
just
Bridget?
saying. I'm just throwing
You,
it
just,
out there.
you like
I'm
that,
just throwing
Bridget? We don't have enough knowledge. We don't know as much as
Fair.
we should,
Okay.
right?
it. Fair.
For those who aren't following, this is a Bridgetism.
Yeah. The difference is I don't get mad. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
See, she doesn't get fake mad like I do. God, trees don't exist in this world. Why? It's just a fictional world, Dave. Was it a social constructivist? There's no objective reality in this world, Dave. You can't really anchor yourself to anything that's real. That's not how entertainment works. You have to rely on some anchors to be able to make sense of the world.
Last week you said you wanted answers surrounding the Diane Welch stuff, and I was like, I'm fine finding out next season. Now I'm mad. This was one of my beefs.
What? Okay.
I wasn't wrong last week.
Only because it doesn't seem like we're going to be getting any answers.
Right.
I was hopeful for some eventually, and I was okay
See, this
waiting.
is why I said what I said. There's not enough time to answer all the questions.
Nope.
That's how that conversation started.
If they carried this situation, whatever's going on with her, into the next season, I'd have been fine waiting for some more answers. We don't actually see Lucy kill her or stab her in the head. She like bonked her on the helmet and then everything powers down.
Yeah.
And she's covered in blood.
But yeah, we see everything power down. You'd have to assume that she's dead.
Also, what exactly is powering down? Because we assumed she was powering or driving the people with the...
Yeah, she's like a potato battery.
So if she goes down, in theory, shouldn't they all also go down?
That was one of my
Yeah,
either
true.
beefs or maybe that was intentional. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm with you on that one, Rachel.
Because we see one of the Legion guys who's helping Hank, and he's clearly still undermined. And I'm like, wait a minute. If Diane's offline, how are you still... So then I'm like, okay.
She was already offline at that time?
Yeah. If she's not the power source, what was the
Not
point
necessarily the power source. She was the one feeding the good vibes.
Yeah, they're using her personality.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
of her? Okay.
Yeah. Her good nature, yeah.
So then with her gone, what?
It shuts down that story script being fed into everyone's mind to act a certain way.
And just erases them, basically.
Yeah. And it just turns them into a blank slate.
Hank is Hank, but he's not really the, hey, buddy. He's not doing that thing.
Mm-hmm.
There is a sort of sadness and a weird, what am I doing here? Who am I? I have no instructions, maybe even. If you're to assume that he really did mind erase himself, which you have no reason to think one way or the other, except for the fact that there's a pattern. You guys even said it is a little different from when the Legionary was turned online. It wasn't instantaneous. All amnesia, none of the personality.
Even the guy that wasn't a success in the first episode was almost instantly under the influence for at least a little while before it exploded.
Oh, yeah,
So-
the Stephen Winthrop, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes sense. If I'm to like believe that Hank is actually mind erased, even if he's not, who cares? If we're thinking about the Legion guy, I don't like saying Legionnaire because it makes me think of Legionnaire's disease. Anyway,
Legionary.
Right.
That's an
anyways,
X-ray.
let's say Rob is right because her perfect personality type was what was being fed into all of them to have this really amicable personality. So that makes sense.
I was going to mention that earlier in the season, we saw that the device was able to force people to do what they were told to do, even if it didn't override their personality. So I think the Legionnaire
Like a script.
is still being influenced to do what Hank is telling him to do, even if he doesn't have the same personality anymore. He may have his own personality, but he's still being controlled by the device.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't have his sunny disposition when they were down there. He
Okay.
was just a guy who did a thing.
I think all Lucy succeeded in
point.
doing is putting Diane out of her misery and also just erasing the ability to replace people's personalities.
Yes.
He can still be controlled, so I think it's still a threat, but it's not the same kind of threat.
I'm not going to assume that Diane was in the executive pods, right? Where was she?
Why not? Maybe she was a severed head for this entire time, which is a thing.
That's what I was
I feel like she
thinking,
was.
is she was like
That
that.
was my
since
assumption.
How is
The
she
beginning.
not just a
Dead?
No,
A
well,
corpse?
one, I can look past her not being dead because she's plugged into stuff or something. 100% ridiculous, but I can push past that. What I can't get past, how is there still flesh on that skull?
She was being
know.
fed through a tube or something.
The liquid that she's in.
She's got a feeding tube, and where's that going? She has no stomach.
Just her brain.
Now we're veering into TV logic, which is never.
It's either like embalming fluid or like a pickling
Yeah.
juice.
That's what I was
exactly.
thinking. She looks a little embalmed.
Let me show you a little close up of that, actually.
Oh no.
Here.
Oh my gosh.
This is a close up of the controlled forced tube food pump.
Oh,
It literally said,
Oh.
why does she
Crazy.
need food? She has no
Well,
body.
your brain still needs energy.
Yeah.
Nutrients. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also needs something to digest and create that energy.
Obviously, that
that's
food
true.
is
It's true-ish.
being absorbed somehow into like keeping
Yeah, I feel
her
like this is one
preserved.
of those, let's just suspend our disbelief and think that there's a technology available for this, because I feel like there are a lot of questions that could be asked about it that I don't think we're going to get answers to, because it's
No.
a living
Alright.
head. You're just supposed to accept that.
All right, then I definitely need the skincare cream she's using if her skin's still attached after all this time.
Who's applying it, Rachel?
That's a better question.
It's Hank. He's personally applying the lotion on the skin so it doesn't get the hose
It's
again.
just the Nivea in the blue metal.
In the Vault-Tec label tin.
It's it. It's just that.
In all reality, I had kind of thought and considered that maybe Hank recently decapitated her and that she's only been this head thing since he
possible.
sort of mastered the device.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then I'm
That's
like, where
actually
was she
possible.
before that?
Pulled her out of cryo.
Well, they could have forced her
Maybe.
into
Decapitated
cryo.
her.
They could, yeah.
You're a perfect pushover. We're going to save you.
Yeah, that's absolutely believable.
But that doesn't seem consistent with the Enclave's behavior. Like I said, every time they do a thing, they get rid of them.
As soon as we see that turn taken, so like Cooper's delivered the little diode to the president, who was played by Clancy Brown. So obviously a bad guy.
Best bad
the
guy.
second the camera panned, you're like, oh no.
I like when he plays a good guy, though.
Oh no.
What typecasting.
Oh, I love Clancy Brown. The second that happened, and then knowing that she had been ahead, I was like, oh, well, they turned on her. Part of me is okay with this idea of like, well, maybe they forced her into cryo because they were going to use her for this later. I see what you're saying, Dave, that like normally they would have gotten rid of somebody. But if they needed someone for this select purpose, she's the
Waste
person
not,
that they
want not.
wanted for it.
I would say this much. It kind of doesn't even matter if she was frozen before or afterwards or kept her corpse around. She's been ahead the entire time.
Barb's tube, they just chopped the head and just put the head in with her.
Ah.
Save on space.
Either way, I don't know that Hank's idea of doing the whole personality injection was a recent advent or if it's something that was always in motion from the time of the past. So that would be the determining factor, because you have that scene with that Vault 24 with all the communists or Americans who were made to believe that they were communists. Do you remember that vault?
Yes.
Okay. Which is a whole other way of looking at the whole situation. Oh, I can program them to do something or make them feel a certain way. Well, and if they can do that, and there's the other vault or the R&D where they miniaturized it, etc. Let's combine all these different ideas, make them feel something while they're under control for whatever purpose. We know the purpose somewhat because of Karina. Thank you. And it's Hank's blend of Enclave goodness, which was put to an end because Lucy crushed Diane Welch's head. We should go back to Francisco before I continue on this line of thinking, because it's the most juicy
He's
part.
made so many comments and we haven't read any of them.
Yeah.
Punky with a pipe bomb coming up. Perfect is the enemy of good.
So we're talking about this mind erase thing with Hank. Francisco said, let's not forget that Mr. House is without a doubt the reason that Hank probably loves to manipulate or being in control. He looks like such a goofball post-war and you don't feel like he would hurt a fly. Hank is just a product of fallout. His mind got erased. Look what happened to that Legion member a few episodes back. He showed loyalty for Mr. House because they loved playing the game, but the game is rigged. And then he was cracking some jokes. Francisco's like, he knows that his mind is erased because he didn't call Lucy Sugar Mom. He's saying that's
crazy. He did say that a lot. So.
And then mind control is a complex thing. You can control a person, but it's extremely hard to change a personality. And then just a reminder that the diode is the cold fusion.
It's been the last few episodes.
It's just, I guess that first season they were like, we've got to change this cold fusion. It's too much. Come up with a one word succinct way to say cold fusion.
They did this with something else. Welcome to Derry. We called it the shard the entire time. Yeah. And then they switched it up and said it was the
dagger.
Yeah, it was the dagger. We're like, wait, what happened to shard?
Oh.
We just made that up or something. Or it was like the Mandela effect.
It's because all of them were shards with the exception of the dagger, which was the only one that was left.
No, they were called the pillars. They weren't called shards.
No, the shards form pillars.
Correct.
Oh, I'm about to beat somebody on the head right now. It's like we were wrong the entire time about everything. No, I cannot accept that.
Well, you were.
Dave not being right about one thing is it's a bridge too far. I am glad we went through this because I did have a little difficulty with Diane Welch being gone. What does that mean in terms of his subjects? That's what I was concerned about. You guys helped me resolve that with the Legionary. Obviously had no personality anymore. Hank, in a specific sense, doesn't either. However, she did give him instructions, just to give you a little more log in the fire of maybe Dave is right for once at this point. She'd say, I programmed you to be the father I wanted you to be, that you should have been, or something to that effect. That's what his instructions were.
Oh, okay. I thought she was just saying that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And maybe it doesn't even matter whether he is mind erased or not. Effectively, if he isn't mind erased, he's playing along either to get what he wants or to just say, hey, the jig is up. I'll be whatever you want me to be now. I've already put my plan in motion. I don't have to do anything more now. And I do want to talk about the plan he put in motion because there's some timing here that I love. You guys are all messed up about some of the emotions, some of you gamers. And Karina, you're going to feel attacked. And Francisco definitely is going to feel attacked. Is everybody ready for this? One of you had asked a question, what happened to Captain Rodriguez? And then she shows up in this episode.
Uh-huh.
Why does that not make sense?
Because she was with the squirrel dude who Hank has.
Yeah.
And what happened to Biff, the squirrel dude?
He ended up under Hank's
He
control.
ended up in Hank's thing.
Okay.
Something happened.
You're reading me loud and clear?
I can probably answer the gap. When Max put on the NCR power armor, they had mentioned in previous episodes that they have tracking devices. So the NCR is likely tracking their own power armor and noticed that the NCR armor became activated and was active in Freeside. They went to investigate or rallied because they probably assumed that all the NCR soldiers in Freeside or in Vegas were gone. And then when they saw that ping, that was enough information for them to send reinforcements to that area. Likely the reason why they showed up there.
That just chewed up
That
some
makes
beef I
sense.
had. So thank you.
Nice.
I'm about to ruin all your lives. Are you guys ready?
Go for it.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
Makes all the sense.
Sorry. Let me just rephrase what I just said.
Watch what
even
you
though I'm
say.
keeping all of this in. Karina, everything you're saying makes perfect sense on paper.
Yeah, that's right.
And I love it.
Show respect.
You're like, why didn't they suddenly show up? It makes me emotional, but not me. I haven't played the games. I don't give a damn if the NCR comes in. Who cares? Even
that
though it's
wasn't
kind of
what
cool,
made me
but still, who
emotional. I
cares?
just want to point out it wasn't that the NCR was there.
It made Francisco emotional. I gotta say, we had a little conversation about what that sniper did.
Misinterpreting the reason we're emotional about it, but I was going to mention that scene. But
I do know, but I didn't want to get into that particular part. We're going to backtrack. Since we're talking about Hank and the mind control and the R&D instructions that have been sent 200 years ago, I think Hank programmed those soldiers. Period. End of story. It's really weird that all these NCR soldiers have suddenly converged on location, other than Karina's perfectly logical explanation, which may tear the foundations of my argument apart. However, I don't think so, because if Biff was traveling with Captain Rodriguez...
Oh, I hate you so much.
I don't think they got separated. I think
Actually,
he kept Biff for one specific purpose, to compare and contrast him to the Legionnaire he also captured. And I think he saved Rodriguez to convert the rest. And they don't even have to be NCR soldiers, by the way. They can just be wearing NCR uniforms. Why not?
I hate you so much.
honestly, it's a good
Jive with
theory.
me? It doesn't make sense, guys.
why would they show up? Because they showed up to liberate Freeside from the Death Claws, presumably. Why would Hank summon them there to do that if the Enclave is the one who sent the Death Claws in the first place, according to Mr. House? That doesn't make sense to
Because
me.
the Legion's coming.
I'm so glad you asked that. You fell in my trap. Oh, I forgot to say the words. I forgot to say the holy words. What was also said in the last episode is never underestimate the power of
Brand recognition?
recognition.
Brand recognition. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Max strolls into town with his NCR power armor and Freeside's going nuts. Imagine if the actual NCR comes into town and they're like, oh, he's just the kid. But them, how efficient would it be to not have to convert everybody with a mind control device? But you get a few people in charge, a whole swath of official soldiers or government people from the NCR, or you make up the NCR, you give them instructions, you're NCR now, do what NCR do. Okay, now replicate that. You don't have to convert everybody. You just have to convince a whole bunch of people that it's going to be all right. The NCR is here. And everybody sort of acts accordingly. At first,
And they should join.
according to the end credit scene, what is the end credit scene depicting? There's checkpoints, there's walls.
Sign
they're
up
preparing for war.
here.
Sign up for the NCR. What happens when you sign up for the NCR?
Uniforms.
And Dave floats away.
Dave slowly
And
backs
mind
up.
control devices in the back of the neck, and you can't even tell there's a little scar in the back. No, it's just a vaccine, everybody. It's just a vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, why did I go with vaccine? Yeah, I don't know. You used to get them in the army. You get little yellow fever vaccines.
Was there
right?
more
Called
than
malaria.
one
And
end
get a
credit
scarf
scene?
from him.
Yes.
He's talking about like the art
Yeah.
credits.
There was more than one scene.
The still images
Oh,
that
okay.
play
Yeah, like
while the
zooming out.
credits are
Okay.
playing. As it
That they're
zooms
swooping
out.
through Freeside.
Okay. I was like,
And then
They have
there's
little
also a
propaganda
post-credit
posters.
scene.
Probably the coolest thing about the
Threw me
post-credit
off.
scene was the one poster that said Careless talk costs lives, because who's always listening but the Enclave?
Enclave.
That's spooky. They don't tell you who's listening. They just tell you enough with the chatter, enough with the John. You never know who's listening.
The very last shot, I thought of Karina again when we're looking at the
Billboard,
Overpass
and it's
sign,
like,
yeah.
take your family to the Rockies. And we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So obviously Cooper's
the Rockies,
heading for Colorado. But at the end of the
But-
billboard is one of those little nasty sacks with the body parts.
Yes.
The super mutant.
Super
Okay.
mutant.
Super mutant. Yep.
There's more than one, by the way.
So
Oh,
I'm
we're
expecting
definitely
to
gonna see
see
more
more
of
of them in the next season too.
I did notice that there were quite a few of those hanging off the billboards. Yeah. Everything's it's going to be like
Oh,
a
okay.
battle of the 5 armies or something. The Legion's
Right.
showing up. The NCR's there.
It's going to be the Greater
Enclave is
War.
going to show up. And then probably also Super Mutants and Ghoul Coalition or whatever they're going to call themselves. And like,
Just to remind everybody, the Super Mutant, actual Ron Perlman, is referring to the Enclave as his main enemy.
Mhm.
And so I'm assuming whoever comes out on top is what the Super Mutants are probably going to want to.
Align with?
Thank you, Jason. Align is the perfect word. Because they need all the help they can get. But I would probably assume that they'd be more in line with the NCR because there's that one billboard sign again reminding us what Karina said, free vials for ghouls. So, they're very ghoul friendly and they have all these little government programs, but high taxes. And some of that funds the chems, right? Karina, we're bringing it back.
Chems,
for ghouls to prevent them from going feral. I'm helping you out. You made such a good case. Why did they abandon chems? So, what do you guys think of my theory, though? Does it make sense?
I don't like it. It's plausible, and I'm unhappy about it.
I hate it too. Believe me, I don't like it.
But this is Fallout, and nothing ever works out the way we want it to.
The house never changes. The apartment. By the way, I've been starting to use the apartment. The apartment always changes. We haven't said this on the show at all, but the internet has dubbed Rafi Silver, fake Robert House as Bobby Apartment.
Bobby Apartment.
They call
For
him
some
Bobby
reason,
Apartment.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know why. And he's been going along with it too, right?
Yeah,
He loves it. And why
Tweets
not?
or whatever he uses. Yeah.
Did we voice this separately or in the Discord? Because Rob, you mentioned how I feel like he was originally supposed to be Robert House and they kind of did a bait and switch for real. Because the more the episodes keep going, I'm like, he learned so much and he studied so hard for this role that he thought he was going to be playing in the second season. They swept the leg, Johnny. They swept the leg.
They Sigourney Weavered him. The other girl on the ship in Alien was originally meant for Sigourney Weaver's part, but then they gave it to Sigourney Weaver and she still had to play the part of this lesser character. Anyway, apparently she was really mad about it on set, as one would be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I haven't seen the movie in forever.
Sigourney Weaver was a great choice and the better actress, honestly, out of the two, but still sucks.
But not the original Ripley.
Yeah.
Not the original Justin Trudeau. I was going to say, accidentally say the name right. Justin No.
Wait, no, that's
be
not.
wrong. I can't help but be right.
When Cooper was at the terminal and House came on, he said, "What's up, Bob?" Some people think that was a nod to the Bobby Apartment thing.
I didn't know the internet was calling him that, so I really love that.
I didn't either.
Bobby
I
Apartment.
found out yesterday. When I was getting notes.
So good, so good.
Because they weren't calling him that before the season came out.
No,
There's no
it
way
was definitely
they were like, let's retroactively
Okay,
call
it
him
was,
Bob real quick. Yeah, that would have been.
You know why he calls him that though, right? Because he keeps calling him Mr. Howard. Why not go the other way? He's annoyed with this self-aggrandized voice talking to him in his Pip-Boy.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I did make a note of that because any game where you have a NPC or something yammering on at you and you're like, okay, I guess tell me about it. Like, while you're yes, Kip. Like, he couldn't wait to get rid of it and be like, I'm done. Listen, yeah. It's such a game trope that I thought it was just comical the way that they did it, where he's like, I guess you're going to tell me about it, right?
There were a couple moments like that in the episode where I was like, whoa, this is like really a video game moment. When Lucy's covered in blood in the yellow dress standing on the strip, the end of the episode, I was like, whoa, what a character customization moment. You picked that up and you decided to wear it because it had better stats than whatever else you had. And now you're like running around in this yellow dress. For some reason, that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh, this is very video
funny.
game.
I think that's
100%.
exactly why.
It also reminds me
You're
of
right,
like in
though.
Baldur's Gate where you'll have your characters in these gorgeous clothes and then you get into one fight and the next cutscene they're blood spattered all in their hair and their face and everything and they just look a mess. And that's kind of what she was looking like to me. Like she just got out of a skirmish.
Who's doing the laundry?
I don't play video games the right way. I was playing Destiny and it was similar.
That's my game, Rachel.
I had to stop playing. It made me mad. But it's one of those games where you can pick up different clothing, like legendary items, and it has like
armor,
stuff like that. I had this cloak for a really long time that I really liked, and then I found a better one, and I wouldn't upgrade it because I liked the one that I had on. It was cute.
See, I love Hogwarts Legacy for the same reason, because it lets you change your stats to match the new item, but then you can go back in and make it look the way you want it to. Because I'm with you,
Destiny
Ray.
finally did that too. Yeah, they can.
Breath of the Wild did that right from the jump because of that.
Yeah.
I will say though, I am such a utilitarian. I didn't know people were like Rachel, but I like the Hylian outfit. Okay, you can like it, but it's not good enough. Oh, God. And then here I am walking around like a knight all the time. There was like, what a dork. What a dork with his high defense armor. Anyway.
Get good, loser.
Yeah. Go back, hoser. Like, Canadians ragging me. Thank God it's on an MMO.
Read Francisco's thing.
Dave, they have something called modern track devices. Thanks, Karina. Now we're reaching Dave, NCR being controlled by Hank. Hey, I know you got really emotional, but here's the big text. I think the brain control chip is getting out of hand. I know it's a plot device to move the plot of the Mr. House controlling everything on everyone at NV, but I don't think it's NCRs being controlled by him.
Didn't Captain Rodriguez say in episodes back that the remaining NCR were outside of New Vegas? It's likely Captain Rodriguez contacted them and they all came. If anything, they were all pushed back from New Vegas by Mr. House, like everything he effing did in this version of New Vegas.
Disagree. They're mind controlled. Like the Walking Dead in the later seasons where the characters were so clean, like they had washing machines around, like in Baldur's Gate. Guys, they baked bread too.
They had means to wash clothes in the later seasons of Walking Dead, though.
You beat them in rocks.
Yeah.
Oh, in the first season even. See, they established it.
Using the quarry.
They were talking about dildos and stuff. It's really weird.
Tell it to the frogs.
Tell it to the frogs.
That was not weird.
Nice
that was a perfectly normal conversation.
Till Ed had to interrupt it.
Ed ruined it.
See, I knew you were joking, Francisco. It's fine. Listen, honestly, I'm fine with either way. It just occurred to me that there's no evidence that the NCR actually even exists in both seasons. Any NCR members are kind of on their own. They just kind of have their kit around to walk around in the wasteland. Remember those two guys, one of which the kid, I think the ghoul kills, remember? And I was really mad about that.
Yes.
Where did your brother go?
It was last season, yeah.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I was trying to think of this season. I was like,
Me too.
Wait, no. I said last season. Okay. See, nobody listens to me. It's fine.
No.
They were ex-NCR. They weren't really NCR. What kind of farmers were they again? It was really funny. Cat farmers? Or just like their little metal detector devices. I think they were scraping the sand for like parts and metals and stuff like that.
Speaking of caps, how is Thaddeus not jingle jangling everywhere he went with that many caps in his pants?
Yeah,
Cue the
there was a
song.
lot of caps that came out of his pant leg.
At least
Count it,
500.
losers.
He's got a hollow leg, I guess.
Hey, oh.
I just love that he was still running around with his arm.
Yeah.
Like
See, when you have them packed in there so tight, they don't jingle jangle. Although,
Jingle
how would he run
jangle.
around?
They
Right? You
spilled
can't
out
move your joints.
pretty quick and easy.
Then again, it's Fallout. See, you can always say that at the end.
Yeah.
It's Fallout.
You just dropped
you're
them
right.
from inventory.
That's true. It's just, his inventory was filled up with caps.
Or you could be like fucking Bridget. You'd be like, well, we don't know how pants work in this world.
Yeah, Dave. Maybe all pants have a drawstring at the ankles. I don't know.
Maybe that's how people keep their money in the inside of their pants, not pockets.
It reminded me of when Sonic lands on a spike.
Yeah.
And his rings.
The rings. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta collect them all again.
Dave, caps don't encumber you unless you're in hardcore mode. So obviously Thaddeus is not playing in hardcore mode. So his
caps
don't encumber him.
He's not
I did think
He
of
can
you.
carry as many as he wants.
I love it.
Surprised they haven't brought
Thaddeus is
that
playing
in
normal,
some way. To someone just being like, I can't carry all this, and they're moving really slow.
They did in the first season. The whole carrying the bag
did.
for
Did they?
you was alluding to the fact that you hand all of your stuff to your follower so that it doesn't encumber you. So
That's
they
right, okay.
carry around
Oh,
the
cool.
giant bag
The
of stuff.
Squire. Yeah.
Yeah, the Squire.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
Somebody had brought up Stephanie.
Me.
Hank had said to Cooper and Barbara the past that, hey, we're engaged to be married, Stephanie Harper and I.
We just met last night.
Yeah, we talked until 4 a.m, which is okay, but a high school crush.
Maybe I'm crazy, but they're in Vegas and she's wearing white, so I kind of assumed they just went and got married.
I thought the same.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because like Vegas married isn't real married, but it is married.
Well, it's just
in
like
is
it-
real
Vegas.
It is real married. It just happens really
real married.
fast. That's
Right.
all.
Yeah, because why would Hank say my parents are going to kill me unless he had already gotten
Mhm.
married? They wouldn't be upset
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
Even the
proposed to
proposal
someone.
part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
they haven't even met her. See, there's a certain etiquette even in the proposal.
And she's
Even met,
Canadian.
even- She needs approval from the
Right.
parents. See, not thinking. Either way, it's weird. And also, Stephanie says at the end to the Enclave via the Enclave special Pip Boy. I got the photos, everybody. She says Hank's wife.
That
Yeah.
was
Hank
so
McClane's
nerdy.
wife.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, even from the last episode, when they showed her as the housekeeper for Coop,
Mhm.
carting Hank away, I immediately went to, oh my God, could she even be Lucy's mom? Or not even. It didn't have to be, but I recalled the first episode where a pregnant Stephanie is combing Lucy's hair as though she was her mom, even though they're 10, 15 years apart in age. Not that
We've
much.
seen Lucy's mom though.
We in like
Right.
flashback sequences, and also as a ghoul.
Dark hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was less sister kind of behavior, and it was more like, oh, you know, I'm your mom. You're preparing you for your wedding.
Well, if Stephanie is married to Hank, obviously for her, it was just a marriage of convenience
Convenience.
and need and want to
Well,
further
yeah.
herself.
Mhm.
There could be some level of
Even Hank kind of
familial
alludes to this.
feeling. Oh, this
Yeah.
is my husband's daughter.
Mhm.
You
No,
know,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It flashed into mind. Maybe though. Maybe maybe
No,
Lucy's
you're
got
right,
a little
yeah.
psycho in her.
That was going around the
no,
internet.
Dave,
yeah.
because Lucy
People
has
were
two
thinking the same
eyes.
I don't think that's how that works.
Only 9 original fingers.
Yeah, sure. Why
Because
not?
Stephanie was clearly thawed way after Hank was.
Yes.
Yeah, I did think of that afterwards. But first watch feelings, you're like, oh, baby. And then you're like, that's stupid, idiot. Right, Rachel?
What?
She was thawed later.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly. Unless she was pregnant with Lucy before she went into the cryopod. Oh.
Lucy has a mom. We saw her.
Shrug.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you know what? We didn't see her give birth. We don't know. See, Bridget, we don't know that that's how
It's true.
pregnancy works.
It's true.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, so I don't know. No one's gone until they're gone, you know?
Everyone else in the vault saw Lucy's mom. If Stephanie had given birth to Lucy, there would be people in the vault who know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what? There's too much bad gas going around anyway. And
I will
It's fine.
say it's possible that Stephanie's current baby is Hank's, because if she was pregnant when she got frozen,
You're right.
and
That's
then
another thing going
got
around.
thawed
yeah.
out, and immediately got married to the other dude in the vault, it's
Yeah, I
not
forgot his name at
necessarily
this point,
his.
too.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. She could easily cover up a pregnancy from her husband Hank with this, because it seems to me like as soon as they come out of Vault 31, the transfer is for the purpose of marriage, like what happened with Lucy. So
Yeah.
I feel like she immediately came over and was married to this eligible person based on genetics or whatever, and she just sort of faked the whole situation. But the reason why I'm not 100%
Oh,
sure
yeah.
that that's the case is because I'm more inclined to believe that it was actually the Vault Dweller's child, because she doesn't really care about it at all. So
Mhm.
she didn't want to name it. She doesn't care about it in any sense. So if it was Hank's kid, I think that she would care about it a little bit more. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't even know if she really cared about Hank all that much.
Maybe. Yeah,
I
that's
think she
why
just wanted to use
I'm
him to
not
get into a
sure.
vault.
Yeah.
I'll take that a little further. I can go either way on this one. It's that maybe Hank abandoned her too. So if he is abandoning me in this vault with these people, I'm abandoning his kid too.
Maybe. Yeah.
There's like a little disconnect there. Why should I give a damn about this? He's just a faulty baby now. Just pawn it
To
off to the
this-
village.
I definitely want to see a scene, some kind of answer for when Stephanie did eventually get thawed and like seeing Hank for the first time in who knows how long. If they went into the cryopods married and then Hank gets thawed, finds Rose.
Yeah, I got thawed early.
Yeah, ends
20
up with
years
Rose,
prior, at
has a
least.
kid. Now Stephanie jumps out and she's like, "Oh, hey, honey," and he's like, "Ooh, sorry, I
Oh, yeah. I
That's
made
what I
it
was
with this
thinking,
lady.
I need to see that. I want to see that. Maybe that's why Stephanie's so crazy. That
Aggro?
explains
Maybe.
I think we saw the scene why she's so crazy, actually.
getting stabbed in the eye with a fork. Did that do it?
No, the whole
No,
Her
flashback
mom.
Yeah,
of her
last
Canada
episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
adventures.
Canada.
that's true. She's
Yeah, that came
she's always been a
before.
little murderous. I don't think that was something
Now
that
you know why.
right.
Yeah.
But coming out and seeing Hank might have like pushed her over the edge.
Maybe.
Now she's like wants to kill everybody in the vault.
How long ago was she thought out, and how long has she been over the edge?
Yeah,
at that
we don't
point,
know.
Could Hank have been the thing that kept her at bay,
then?
to be
Ooh.
perfectly frank with you? And without
Maybe.
him there, she's slowly unwinding.
Well, I think
Maybe.
based on the last scene with her in this episode, she knew the plan. She was totally on board with whatever was going on in the vault. She just wanted an end to the vault. That's why she didn't really care about Hank all that much as like an actual partner.
As a tool.
Yeah, she's just his wife to get into the vault, and then she has clearance to then initiate phase 2, whatever that is.
Which we sorta, ish know. And I know
Do we?
the executive trainees were supposed to help in that respect. And
Right.
now basically they're all gone except for Claudia.
But that doesn't tell us what phase 2 is. They were talking about it, but
Yeah.
I suppose we have theories. Yeah. And it definitely involves the FEV, the forced evolutionary
Yeah,
virus,
FEV,
which
activating all the automated man little chips and everybody that's around the wasteland. That he
that I
said.
don't know. That could have
be
been a
part of
Hank
phase 2.
invention.
Yeah, could be.
And who knows this incestuous relationship between the Enclave and Vault-Tec? Because you've got these competing storylines. Okay, you have the FEV here with the executive trainee people. Then you have Hank's little thing. Then there's the gamer knowledge, which is like, oh, the Enclave just wants to clean sweep the wasteland. And then Hank even saying to Lucy out loud, hey, the wasteland is the experiment, not the vaults, but maybe also the vaults.
Yeah.
oh, for
Question
sure
mark?
the vaults.
Well, they are, but I think the Enclave is using the surface as a bigger experiment.
I'm not critical, by the way. I'm saying I like the poetry and like, oh, but the wasteland is the actual experiment. I'm fine with that, actually. It's just confusing. There's so much going on. So we're not caring about the vaults anymore. We're moving on to the wasteland. And what's happening with the wasteland?
I'm not entirely sure that I buy the wasteland as the experiments. It feels like the Enclave's like, yeah, we meant to do that. Yeah, that's ours. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
To me, they're
Okay.
like, yeah, upper management, that's what we have to tell you so that you don't
We
feel
meant to do
bad
that.
about being in the vaults.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the vaults that were the experiment, it's the wasteland. Don't worry. You were never
Games.
part of it.
And then Hank just made it real, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because the FEV is meant for the vaults, or at least Vault 32 and 33. That's what that's meant for. Side note, Chet is not happy about Irv. That's the guy's name who says, death to management. And then they go, death to management. They're banging on the door. And Jet's like, no, because Vault 32 is where they found all those dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
He was real proud of himself up until that moment.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
I'm like Reg in Vault
Yeah.
33. I have a club now, a riot club. Okay. Well, and why not? Chet has been silent for 2 seasons, just clammed up. Get along to get on. Because I have a baby to take care of. Excuse number 1. Also, I'm a coward. Excuse number 2. What a short-lived proud moment.
Yep. Where is the baby?
Oh, good
Who
question.
cares about the baby, Rob? Sandwich crumbs, Rob. Sandwich.
Right.
Which did make the opener in the last episode. We had to be included, right, Jason? It's crazy. Well, let's go to Francisco for a hot second, then we'll keep going. Valid point, since we're talking about it. NCR has emergency radio, or the show forgot this, Bethesda? Is it the NCR? Or are you talking about the Enclave emergency radio? I think you are talking about the Enclave emergency broadcast radio from the Enclave Pip-Boy, which is black and cool. Best line of the season. She's not even American. She's Canadian. Lol. I have a question about that, he says. Francisco, who did Hank put his water chip to conceive Lucy if Stephanie was Hank's wife?
Rose.
His wife. Oh, ew.
Just click.
Oh, ew.
Worth saying, not worth addressing. Maybe Chet is Hank's son. They kind of look similar. Yeah, a little.
They're cousins.
Yeah. Through
I
what?
think
They did
probably
cousin
through
stuff.
Rose.
Yeah, thinking about it now, they have the same jawline. Lol. Right? Hank doesn't have any other family, right? And if Chet got married with Stephanie, does that mean Chet would betray his dad with his own wife? No, I think they're divorced at this point. He made it with Rose 25 years ago or so, and they got married and all that stuff. Henry was a product of an intervault transfer wherein he got married with Rose, same as Lucy in the present day in the first episode. And then soon after was the famine, and Lucy's mom got sick or something. She almost didn't make it. Some sort of story there. I don't remember. But either way, so that was real, I guess. And the plan must have been that they split up. Again, Coop and Hank are kind of mirroring each other, both in, oh, it's the thing we do for our kids, but also Stephanie and he also got divorced or split up shortly afterwards to assume a sort of role in this plan.
We don't know if they knew that plan before being frozen.
Probably not. All I know is that they knew that they were part of the Enclave.
So Bud,
Or at least Stephanie spied on Hank while he was communicating with the Enclave.
Brainy Bud
Probably.
wakes up Hank and he's like, oh, hey, man, welcome back. You got to go get married now. And Hank's
And
like,
he's the
wait,
overseer.
I'm already married. And Bud's like, nah, not anymore. I got another one for you.
All
And then
right.
he had to go do it.
You're doing the Dave thing right now. Like you're just hook shotting right now.
I'm not convinced they planned this far ahead.
I think there's a general framework that everybody's working off of, but it's like anything. It gets messed up along the way.
Sure.
This is why I think Hank loves his kids, and I don't think that was part of the plan. And I think he modifies the Enclave's machinations or machinations, however you want to put it, to maybe even convince himself that I am doing this for my kids, or I'm modifying this or tweaking this so that my kids could be okay with what I am doing. And it almost works in the last episode. And she even says it in this episode. I should have done something about this. It's because of me that they're able to storm on in, and we didn't use the mind control devices my dad wanted to use. I mean, these mother effers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I like that there's weight to that.
Could they see the Legion marching in? Did I miss
Yes.
that?
Yes.
I
Okay.
missed it the first watch. Perfect filmic thing that you should do is you see the Legion march in down the street
Okay.
on the ground level. Then when Max and she are coming to the window of the Lucky 38, looking in the distance, because Lucky 38 is so high, you can see past the strip.
Sure.
You see the line of legionaries
Okay.
or legates or whatever
Okay.
marching towards the strip. I do have an image too to show you guys, and it's right at the moment when that actually happens. So you can't see the legionary. It's in a different shot. I thought you could see it from this scene. That's fine. This is a good opening for another question.
Yeah. Why was he
Okay.
offline?
Right. When Lucy and Max walk into the top of Lucky 38, they see no signal again.
Mhm.
Right? Lost signal or whatever it was. And yet you do see this flash of house here. I, of course, like always, I think of Karina a lot. I'm obsessed. Thumbs up. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. I thought, oh, is this glitchy, Mr. House? Without his cold fusion? Is the cold fusion gone now? Or is this, again, is like Hank? Oh, he's pretending to be gone.
That's what I think. Yeah. I think he's just pretending. It would have been totally offline if the diode was taken off, right?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
I feel like they
Right?
would have shown that happened.
Would they?
The only person who knew it was there was Howard and
Mhm.
Coop. Yeah.
He could have taken it with him.
Coop, take it back. Yeah.
But didn't House like shut the door to like stop him from doing that before he shoved his gun through the crack?
You don't see him taking out the gun.
That's true.
You know?
He just
I
left
don't
it
know.
there. But
Mm.
then all House would have to do is just open the door, let the gun fall, then close.
True. I don't see why not. This is one of those things we're never going to get an answer to.
No,
And maybe
probably not.
never would know. House could factor into the next season. I don't see why not. I don't see why he wouldn't, considering the mess this is going to be.
They would not have built him up to be this big deal if they weren't going to include him next season.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think he was just like staying off, like he knew they were coming in. He was like, I don't want to talk to these people.
Well, besides which, Justin Trudeau is no longer the Prime Minister of Canada
Yeah, his
for a while
schedule
now.
is like super free now.
Super
Yeah,
free,
yeah,
yeah. Such brand recognition, right, everybody? The power of brand recognition. And fellow Canadian Stephanie Harper is on the show, so he obviously has to represent.
Wow.
Why?
All right, let's do more things.
Doing
I had
Rachel this
flashbacks to
episode.
Jasmine for a second there.
I watched that old episode,
with the
Rachel.
Candy Wrappers?
Yeah.
So
You
I saw
did?
you. Yeah, I did. As I didn't realize it the first time, but she did a couple slurps.
Let's backtrack a little bit on Stephanie's Enclave Pip-Boy, not Vault Boy.
That is fancy.
I did capture it right at the moment where it boots up.
Mm.
So you do get to see copyright 2076 Robco, registered trademark, loader 7.1, Pip OS Revision version 7.1.0.8. Exec version 27.20. 64K RAM. Whoa, that's pretty high, actually. 30,911 bytes free. No holotape found. Very cool little reference. Let's go to the terminal where Stephanie's message is being received, and then we'll go back to Francisco. I caught the specific moments where it actually made the most sense to highlight it. Robco Industries Unified Operating System, copyright 2075, 2077, Robco Industries. Com Station 4 Enclave, and it has a little textual representation of the Enclave American flag. God Bless America. Communications access via satellite VT32, Vault 32. Signal detected via EPB, Enclave Pip-Boy 72. Again, referring to 72, 7.2. What does that mean? Anyway.
We don't know.
No, it's supposed to represent Hank. What's the relation between that, right? Then it loads, and then we go to the second screen. Same thing, basically. Orders. 1 is complete, authorized eyes only. 2 is redacted, accessing protocol. Okay, then it goes into this gobbledygook, which in essence repeats the following phrases.
Thank God Dave speaks computer.
So it's a booting sequence, basically. Start memory discovery, starting cell relocation. What cells? What kind of cells? What are we talking about? What cells? Launch EFIO or EFI0. I don't know exactly what it is. Evolutionary forced IO. I don't know. Operating system. Who knows? Then starting EFIO, and then it repeats. And then you have this last screen. Phase 2 initiation request received. This is directly tied into the part of phase 2 that we know of is the FEV. And that super mutant that wants the Enclave dead is a super mutant because of the FEV, and we know that mutants at the very least were in the Enclave being carted around because of the first episode, maybe second episode. I don't know if it was all the same episode. I thought those were pretty cool little tidbits that we all love. We love little details like booting up OSs and all over the place. Robco.
She from Vault 32?
She was part of the move into the split of 33 into Vault 32 after they cleaned it up. She became overseer.
Does this seem like she's contacting 32? Or she's calling out from 32?
Yeah, the satellite is Vault 32. That's why I had that satellite comm station, etc. There is something else that you see that I didn't take a screen cap of. 2 things. One is the iBot. I thought you'd get a kick out of that, Karina.
I did notice the iBot, and I was going to bring it up. It's in the Enclave facility, looking like the one that Wilzig came from. You can find iBots throughout the wasteland, usually just wandering around. Sometimes they're playing a radio station that's like pro-Enclave. Join the Enclave. Follow me to, get with America or whatever. I forget exactly what it says.
Propaganda.
Yeah, propaganda. Thank you. They're pretty much exclusively just Enclave devices. So anytime you see them, I usually take them out.
Pow.
Apparently not that hard to do so.
No.
According to the wiki. You can melee it too.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's not a difficult
But they do explode.
Yes. Most things explode, especially the robots.
My eye just exploded. Oh man, I've received 2 damage from your eye exploding. Nobody liked that.
Do we think House was bluffing when he said the diode being shot, the damage could extend to other planets? It could be that big of an
You could tell he
explosion.
wrote that down. It was like, yeah, that is a really funny question.
I believed him.
I don't know.
He just manufactures this stuff. He doesn't know how it works.
Yeah.
I don't know that I know that.
It's a whole lot of energy in a little pinpoint.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what? We're going to go ahead and ask the Google, what would happen if I blew up a cold fusion device, theoretically speaking?
You're now on a list.
Yep.
True.
It says in big words, catastrophic. Theoretically, if a cold fusion device were to be detonated, technically this would be right. Okay. The consequences would be catastrophic due to the extreme temperatures and pressures involved. The device would likely release a massive amount of energy, potentially causing widespread destruction and contamination. The high temperatures and pressures would vaporize everything in the vicinity, and the release of tritium and other byproducts would contaminate the environment. The device's containment systems would need to be robust enough to prevent such catastrophic events, but given the current state of technology, thank God, it is unlikely that such a device could be safely detonated. Yeah, so much for free energy.
Yeah.
I don't think planetary, but
So much for it being held in a little glass vial.
Right,
it looked robust.
Max is running around with it in his pocket. Just
Well,
trips and falls.
The whole
They
world.
were just
as long as it's
storing
not
it
a
in their
device, I
heads.
suppose.
They were storing it
Holding
in
in
their
his hand,
heads.
House mentions wandering travelers with something to prove. And he's definitely talking about
Thank
the
you.
courier when he's talking about that. So the protagonist of New Vegas, 100%.
First of all, the bludgeoning, the shooting, which was in the end credit scene for that one episode.
Uh,
The Wrangler, I think it was. And then what was the other thing?
Crowbar.
The thing about it is, and I'm fine with them saying, oh, they figured out a way because cold fusion is the placeholder for the platinum chip 100%. So how can Robert House exist without his body? I'm confused. I thought he needed a body.
He downloaded himself into the computer because his body was too vulnerable, but he didn't have enough power to power on because I'm sure it would require a lot to boot up an entire person, especially with the kind of technology we're looking at. So that's why he was dormant until the cold fusion diode got installed.
Well, hello, old chum.
You recognize Howard immediately.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Keep calling him Howard.
Okay, I can accept that.
It's just Max Headroom, but Fallout.
Deep cut. Matt Frewer was Max Headroom.
All the people that House says come to visit him, could those be all the different endings that you can get in the game?
Just the wandering
He went
traveler was
offline to
something to
begin with?
prove.
Yeah, that was more a reference to that, I would think.
Was he talking about other ways that people were trying to
Poison
kill him
shot
too
bludgeon
when he
with a
brought that
crowbar.
up?
Oh, I don't know if that was specifically about the courier or just if there were legionnaires or whoever else coming in to try to get at him for whatever reason. A lot of it I have to research first because it has been more than 10 years since I played the game, so I don't remember the specifics of how you get rid of House. Probably you just shoot him because it's Fallout, but I can't remember any other specific attack that he would have had.
Well, and I guess House, like you said, even though he wouldn't be able to power on at all or even for a significant period of time, because his body was damaged or shot at or whatever, he just had no choice. He had to hope that somebody would come around to provide him with enough power to power on his consciousness, which they did. Maybe he made a calculation that if Mr. Howard were still up around and kicking, that he would actually eventually do that.
Maybe.
That's because John at me. Hey, how can you use the internet in your laptop if you don't have power? Easy. I don't. I think they made that into a reference because the canon endings probably got retconned. See, this is something that Francisco brought up, and I still think the Yes Man theory has legs, but the Yes Man is just an AI. Yes Man would be integrated in what would hypothetically be Cooper Howard's consciousness. So I think his programming would be added to Robert House's programming to kind of keep him afloat. Because you see the Securitron in the same fashion passed out after uploading. So I don't know. It's sort of a new ending, but it's sort of not. If you kill everybody, including House still has a backup plan.
I think it's something of
think
a
he's dead, but he's not.
failed Yes Man ending where Yes Man uploads himself into the computer to take over the running of New Vegas, but he's either interrupted or unsuccessful in some way. Or when House booted up or uploaded into the computer, it overrode all of Yes Man's stuff, perhaps. It's unclear exactly.
Just overrode it, yep. That's a totally plausible computer explanation, I think. Because that happens all the time in computer land.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I like to call my job, computer land.
That's weird, but okay.
What were your other two notes, Karina?
The NCR sniper scene, the reason that the gamers are getting emotional about it is because it is a direct parallel to the opening of Fallout New Vegas. It's a very iconic slow motion VATS image of the sniper firing and going off into the distance. That was very much fan service to the gamers, but I think they did it in such a good way because it didn't remove us from the moment and it didn't feel out of place in the moment either. So they paid homage to the game without destroying it or making it awkward for people who have never played before. Also, I really liked the way Max got saved at the last minute by a mysterious bullet. It's akin to the mysterious stranger showing up in VATS to save the day. That's something that can happen if you take a specific perk. A literal mysterious stranger, now it doesn't look like an NCR ranger, it looks like a guy in a trench coat and a cap, will just show up randomly in VATS to help you take out a difficult enemy.
So that's a perk you can use?
It's called Mysterious Stranger.
Cool.
Bloody Mess, Mysterious Stranger. Because it did produce a bloody mess. But I'm sure it's not that. It's fine. I have a question. Do you have a critique on how much easier the Deathclaws were able to be taken down in some respects, Karina?
Right. Because you remember I asked her and she said they're really hard to be taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Vegas
In-game.
Deathclaws tend to be a little more dangerous than other versions in other games. My theory is that the NCR was aware that they were going to be fighting Deathclaws, so they brought special ammunition for that purpose. Either that, or we're just looking at an adaptation of a video game, so we're just going to take the thematic
Be more
route and
realistic.
just go ahead and take them out that way with a high-powered, it looked like a 50 cal almost, the sniper gun that he was using. Much more powerful than something that you would use against a human adversary.
Well, even Max in the power armor, it's still difficult to fight these things, right?
Yeah, very
Power
much.
armor definitely helps.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. Francisco says NCR already were driven out of New Vegas before they even got there. It's a yes man with some independence. But then the house that we see in the Pip-Boy and the view screens, he's so specific about the past. I would find it hard to believe that it's not Robert House.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, what do I know? Maybe that's how Robert Houses work in that universe, right, Bridget?
Yeah.
She's like, when is it going to be done? This Taco Bell isn't sitting well with me.
Okay.
I have to sit back like this.
No, Taco Bell only fights those who are not true of heart, Dave, and I am.
Nice.
So
It's
I'm
like Thor's
fine.
hammer.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
It's like
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
What's wrong with you? I have a question about this post-credit scene because
Is that what you're getting to
Dave-
next, Karina?
It
Mhm.
is. It's her last thing.
It is my last
because
thing.
Dave was like, "Make sure you watch this post-credit scene." I was like,
She's
"Oh,
making it sound like, guys, you have to write notes on it. Like, no,
oh, this is going to be
just
a
that
big
it
deal. This is going to be a
exists.
big deal." And we got to it, and I was like, boring.
Thumbs down.
I don't know why I expected so much out of it, but I was like, this is lame. And then, this is not my only beef with Dave. We get on this recording,
Me?
and he keeps referring to the end credits as a post-credit scene. What is he talking about?
When did I say that?
He's like keeps
At the
referring to
beginning.
the still images.
You've
as
confused me in the first
post-credits.
episode we did with this show. He said there's a post-credit scene. I was
remember,
like, what scene? You were talking
Oh,
about the end
right,
credits.
The end credits.
So I
To
doubled
end
down.
credit sequence.
You keep saying post-credit though. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
That's why I interrupted to say, wait, was there more than one? Because I only watched one. And it wasn't this at all.
So in this instance, I was just mentioning that it exists, and I know sometimes you miss these things. Oh, I don't want to see a preview of the next season. Oh, I don't want to see
No.
behind the scenes.
I'm glad you said it, because guess what? I
Yeah.
would have turned it off. You know what,
Well,
Dave?
you're fucking welcome.
You know what, Dave?
Worth
Yeah.
the bleep.
I'm trying to say thank you. You know what?
That's a funny way of saying that.
You know what? I didn't look at the end credits at all. And I don't regret it for a second. So when you were talking about those still images, I had no idea what you were talking about. And I don't even really care.
Well, Karina,
Oh my gosh.
you got a lot of explaining to. She doesn't care about what you have to say, Karina.
Okay.
I guess.
No, I do have to care about what Karina says because I'm hopeful
She
'cause
has
can,
to care. So
I'm
it's
hopeful
work.
she can make me care about it because I was like, this
I
scene
bet
is
she
dumb.
can.
When I saw this, what's up on the screen, this blueprint, I was like, that's going to mean
Mhm.
something, but it doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Liberty Prime Alpha. Why is it so important that Dane presented this remnant to Elder Cleric Quintus in the midst of their Brotherhood of Steel civil war? Because it's still going on. You still see hear bombardments and stuff.
Yeah.
And Stimpak's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
into bloody stumps, right?
Yeah,
I
that
noted
was
that.
sick.
Mhm.
I loved
Right?
that.
Yes.
Straight out of the game.
It is, yeah. Okay, so this is only going to be significant to people who have played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 because Liberty Prime shows up as a Brotherhood of Steel part of their campaign. It's a 40-foot tall armored robot. It has arm lasers and nukes. They use it to fight the Enclave and the Institute.
How
So-
far into the game is this? Is my question.
It's part of the faction quest. So if you are doing all
I
of the
quit
factions
before I
at
got
once,
to
it could
this,
take forever.
like I've played,
Yeah.
I've played those games, and I was like, I don't know what this is. It's probably from New Vegas or something. Because anytime anything's from New Vegas, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But
As Bridget would say,
Yeah.
with a thumbs down.
No, it's just part of the Brotherhood of
Okay, I
Steel
was just
faction
curious.
quest. If you haven't progressed it, I don't normally progress the Brotherhood of Steel that far either because I'm just not interested. but it is kind of funny
Yeah,
because
screw those
it's
guys.
so over the top patriotic, and it has pre-recorded voice lines, and I wrote down some of my favorite ones because it is hilarious.
Oh,
And
okay.
imagine this in a giant 40-foot tall robot voice
Democracy is non-negotiable.
as it's shooting at you with lasers.
Rick Grimes. This isn't democracy anymore.
Right.
Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
You'll die.
I agree.
if-
I agree.
Okay.
I'm with this so far.
My favorite is
Embrace democracy, or you will be eradicated.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I don't think that's how that works. Liberty Prime Alpha.
yeah,
Prime Alpha.
Alpha.
The blueprint says Strategic Arms Division, U.S. Army, General Atomics, right? Robco, Mass Fusion.
Is a company in the Fallout games, usually just having a lot of technology around in their locations that you can find. The Mass Fusion. I think there's a fuel depot that you can go into in Fallout 4.
Well, let's share this tab instead. This is more of a holistic view on what this thing looks like. It does look something like in one of those Japanese kaiju.
Yeah, it just looks like a transformer.
shows.
Yeah, Big Mac, Pacific Rim. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That's what I was thinking about.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Exactly. Well, this is exactly what it's based off of. Let me show you this because it actually shows some of the armaments that you do get a little bit of a picture of, like in the top right.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Which, I mean, obviously there's some flash suppressor, machine gunny things, and there looks to be some sort of like fusion cores that could be made into like nukes and stuff. I have no idea, but there's a lot of armaments on this thing. Is this thing killable? But is it in a funny way?
So it can be disabled. It does get disabled, I think, in the Fallout 3 version. When you send it against the Enclave, it does get taken out eventually, but it's not indestructible or anything like that. But they keep rebuilding it every time they need it for something. So the version you see in Fallout 4 is the Mark II, and this, of course, is going to be Liberty Prime Alpha. Third version, at least.
So let's go to Francisco for a hot sec, drop that lore, Liberty Prime Alpha, and Amaze Punky. He says expressly, "This is a big deal, Punky."
I was like, oh, God, this guy is still alive. Ugh. That's all I
Which
could
guy?
think.
Wait, what?
Quintus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
man.
agree. I am a little
Like,
tired of this guy.
It showed Dane, and I was like, okay, fine. I guess what's going on with
Acceptable.
Dane? Did Dane do something cool? Oh, no, Dane didn't do anything cool. Dane did exactly the same thing Dane's been doing this whole time and just played status quo. Okay, great. And then it panned over to
that's
Quintus,
how
and I was
democracy
like,
works.
Quintus is still alive. This sucks.
I'm gonna be Quintus the Destroyer. Right? Wasn't that a little too corny?
Oh my gosh, it was,
was
so
very corny,
It
'cause
was
he-
so
Boring,
corny.
Bridget
He
says.
said, "Done, no more Quintus the Unifier." And I was like, when were you ever a unifier? You were about to start a civil
He
war,
is
weren't you?
totally deluding himself. You know how?
Yeah.
Remember how angry I got about this guy because he was like, "You thought you could do that? You are S-ing yourself. You just want the power. You don't care about uniting everybody. That's the excuse, right, Hank? I mean, right, Robert? How? Whatever. Everybody's doing the
Whatever
same
your
thing,
name
right?
is.
Right, Lacerta Leggett, who's now Lacerta Kaisar. He said the same thing. Caesar's dead. Long live Caesar, which is the whole parallel to that. He also says it was in the Pentagon 200 years before the Great War. Interesting. And he says it's old. He says it's actually because of the Prime Alpha. It's a reference to the Transformers, actually. Liberty Prime Alpha.
Yeah, I said it's like a transformer.
Or an influence, I would say. Quintus should learn to shoot instead. I think Max and he both need to learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
Autobots,
Anyway,
roll out.
it was one of those things where like I was tired because I had to stay up to watch this episode, and then Dave tells me I have to stay up longer to watch the end scene.
Oh.
It's like
And
as
then
if
it
it's
was
my fault.
And it was this, and I was like, Psh, this sucks.
Boo. Also, but stim pack in the stump. We were waiting for that.
That
We
part
needed
was
an
cool,
excuse
but
for
that
that.
was the only cool part.
There's also like that War is Hell shot with the guy in the power armor staring off into space, which
That actually
was,
is
you
very
know, felt a
reminiscent
little
of one of
bad.
the opening movies in Fallout 4. It shows full motion video of someone in power armor getting repairs done to the armor, and they just have that 1,000-yard stare the whole time. So that is a callback
That's
to the
so
game
cool.
as well.
Nice.
Now I want to play the games. Karina's like,
You should.
Also, I don't care.
You should care. You have like
It'll
a
be
year
fun.
and some change to play some games.
I do want to show
Yeah.
you one thing since I had it
He's
prepared.
busy playing the update from Animal Crossing.
No,
I'm just kidding.
never.
That's me.
Well, at least play the update from World War Z because
I'm
that's super
playing
fun.
the
Ball.
updates. It's me.
Monkey Ball.
I still don't
Monkey
know what that
Island.
is, but
Get it right.
Yeah.
There's this one detail here that I have to point out. They're in the original Vault-Tec headquarters, not the Vault-Tec headquarters
I love that.
underground. You see it, right?
Yeah.
Because I thought you would get a kick out of this,
I
Bridget.
love it.
Specifically, in the top left of the screen, somebody must have camped out here, obviously, over the years. Peace in the background, but then in the background, fight apathy or don't.
I love it.
Little graffiti in the background.
It's so
That's
funny.
great.
That's great. I have one question. The girl that's with Norm, Claudia?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are we sure that that's Claudia? Has anybody talked about her potentially being somebody else?
I've seen
yeah.
stuff
You
on the
did bring that
internet.
up.
Okay, I have not. I haven't looked at any spoilers for this show or followed any of the stuff about the show at all.
Well, we probably brought it up when you weren't on one of the episodes,
That's
but
what I
we
was curious
had
about.
said she had just been hired.
Yes.
She seems to have her S together.
Yes.
Only one that survived
She's
the
a-
rad roaches.
Yes.
Yeah, how did
Yeah,
she survive?
how?
man?
I don't know.
Everybody's dismembered.
She stabbed one and
So,
killed
like,
it.
With a
amazing that
screwdriver,
she's
yeah.
alive.
Just
Yeah.
laid
Seriously.
on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems unlikely. Yet she is down for the count, so there's that.
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of like the whole. Remember what you guys had said about, which I ended up being right about, but Diane Welch. So she could be the baked-in love interest for Norm, Hank McClane's kid. He was literally supposed to be a super manager. The 31s that were cryoed, like Hank, were supposed to breed super managers. And okay, let's read the thing out loud.
I don't want to. You can.
I was worried more about the rad roaches eating
That is
them.
not what we're
That's
laughing
not.
at.
Claudia, the one with the booty, she got some heat back there. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Completely agree. No dispute.
Okay.
If we can talk about
Bridget,
Stephanie
do you
all
have
day.
a theory?
Yeah. Did you guys theorize about who it was?
I
No,
don't know
not at
about
all.
who,
We just
but
believed
Did
her.
you have anything in the
But
chamber?
now that you bring it up,
Okay. I'm going to say something. Don't crucify me.
Okay. Oh,
What if it's Cooper's daughter?
yeah.
That
yeah,
was
that
the theory
had
I
floated
saw
around.
online.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why it popped into my head when I was watching, not this last episode, but I think even the episode before. They're making this big journey, all of these little trainees or whatever. And all I could think was, I feel like she's not who she says she is. And if she was somebody else, who would she be? And then that was really all I could think of.
Okay, this is like the
Timeline-wise, I don't
Stephanie
know how
thing,
that
though.
would work.
Yeah, because she was frozen in Vault 31, and she would have to been an adult when she was frozen, or do you
Supposedly.
think they
Yeah,
might have
that's what I
snuck
was
her
we don't
in
even know if
post
they were
hoc?
frozen there.
She was frozen before and she's not frozen anymore. We know that for a fact because her cryo chamber is
Sure.
empty.
That's
We don't
if she
know
was ever
when
in there
that
to begin
happened.
with.
Yeah.
That's fair, also, Rob. But we don't
Yeah.
even know when that happened. If they were in there, when did they get out? He's thinking it's recent. It could have been not recent. We don't really know.
Mm.
But what if it was enough time for her to age from a little girl to an older person? She's in like her early 20s or whatever. And then they froze her again. And this was Barb's way of protecting her or something else. Or someone took her and was like, we're going to put you in here.
She does say something to the effect of, I was just walking over this bridge a week
Yeah.
ago. It seems unlikely.
It's definitely a theory.
I want you to be right.
Yeah.
You have to,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
your biggest cheerleader.
It doesn't matter to me if I'm right. I have no idea. It was just one of those things where I was like, maybe there's something else to this.
Damn, what was Cooper feeding her before the Great War?
Oh, God. There was one other question that I had that
There
I
is
wanted to
something more
ask
to it.
Karina, and I forgot about it. When Hank is talking about all of these people that are already the experiment or whatever, and like you wouldn't even know synths, that's what popped into my head.
Institute?
Maybe because the
Mm.
synths
Yeah,
come
maybe.
from the Institute, not from the
Or
Enclave.
the beginning of synths.
Possibly the
Okay,
beginning
fair.
of synths. Maybe. I took it to mean more as they've been implanting these chips in people for a long time. I didn't immediately think of synths. But I did see a crazy theory when we're talking about crazy theories that Norm might be a synth
Dane?
because the rad roaches
Oh.
don't attack him.
Oh.
And they attack everybody else except for him, and rad roaches don't go after synths or dead people. So I don't know that it's truthful, but it's curious.
I was curious when Hank was talking about there's already these people out there. Something about the way he was delivering the line made me think, are you talking about your own kids?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Ooh.
What do you
Were your
mean?
own children part of this experiment? And they've already been given a chip. It's already in them. I just have to activate it or whatever. You're following along what I want you to follow and you don't even know that you're doing it.
Maybe.
Right.
That's pretty heady right
Sorry,
there.
I'm just throwing stuff out there now because these were thoughts that I had during these last couple episode watches that I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. So I'm just throwing it out there now.
That makes some sense because, okay, then it answers a question I had about why are the Vault Dwellers so compliant and they're kind of easygoing and blah, blah, blah. And you have to be, but like how, why them, how did they survive and not be a tragic Vault story? Statistically speaking, literally almost all the vaults are undone in some other way. And this, now I have to look at the backs of necks of all the vault dwellers, like Irv and Chet and all the other ones. Woody, Reg.
Most of them are creepily nice too.
Just to go back to the norm thing, Karina, could a synth grow? I think they're kind of necessarily robots.
It's a far-fetched theory, I
Right?
think, because they would have had to hide the fact that he's a synth from all the vault dwellers. And also, the Red Roach did kind of attack him. He was hiding behind a chair. So I don't put a lot of weight into the theory. I just thought it was interesting.
I'll say this much. It could be one of those Blade Runner situations where, the Institute figured out a way to mesh biology and synthology. And they invented a synthetic human. Maybe. I'll leave it there. That's fine. I know. I'm not going to break Bridget and say, I hate you, Dave. Why did you do this? Maybe that's how synths work in this world.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know the physics of this world, Dave.
Fine. We didn't talk about the ghoul and his discovery. That was also an emotional moment, too. Him kind of breaking down and going 200 long ass years. And I finally got confirmation that they're at least alive. I was thinking, or were.
Yeah.
You don't know if they are now, but hey, at least they had a life to live. Oh, and there we go.
Uh-oh.
Finally caught up with her. See, this is the signal that we should end the show.
Doesn't this mean she can't get back on? Didn't that happen?
It did, but she also had a difficulty connecting too, reconnecting.
Okay.
We're frozen on her end. Kicked her out of the studio on our end. So I have a question. Are we going to see glowing feral ghouls next season? The title of the finale was Glowing. It's called The Strip.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's not the title. But I will say the ghoul still has, as far as we know, a giant piece of uranium still lodged in his torso. So he might start glowing at some point.
He could be a glowing non-feral ghoul.
I forgot about that. Oh, thanks, Francisco.
I should be in bed already. Yeah, Francisco should have been in bed already 7 hours ago. Karina's probably not going to be able to make it like last time.
Rachel, just go.
How is there more?
Yeah, why don't you just go?
Just go.
Good night.
Okay.
Love you, Rachel. Bye.
Put him in the fight.
Okay, see.
She said, okay,
This
bye.
is like nothing to the audience. It's just like, goodbye. Oh my God. Okay. There is something that I caught in this episode. It's kind of like, okay, you have spies in Vault 32? Obviously. What are you talking about? How do you have spies? Anyway, this is Betty Pearson, Stephanie Harper conversation.
Right.
In this episode, there is a sort of weird illusion. Obviously, Robert House and Cooper Howard have a relationship. Because of the past, we've seen it darting back and forth between the present and the past. There is something that was said, though. I feel like they spoke in between the times that we got to see. Because he says, why didn't you reveal my family's location in the past? When would that have happened? After the bombs dropped?
Yeah, maybe after the bombs dropped. There's a long period of time in between, Dave. From the times the bombs dropped until Shady Sands, there's a lot of time in between that we don't have any information about. I could see him having gone to House before because House was honest with him. He may not be a great guy. They may not be aligned morally. However, House didn't lie to him.
He's never lied to him.
He told him the truth. It's not the truth he wanted. And he's the one who gave him the heads up about what was going on.
You might not find them there. I would be happy for you if you did.
Not even that, Dave. The heads up about the fact that someone had ratted on him and turned him in.
What he specifically says is he didn't give him his family's location because he didn't deliver the cold fusion. So meaning part of whatever conversation that happened in between the past and now, there must have been a discussion about getting it back.
Yeah.
Which, here's the thing. I'm not going to reveal this theory, even though somebody's finally, I want to swear, because Karina and I had a discussion a while back. I had this revelation about, wouldn't it be cool if Cooper Howard was Courier 6 this whole time?
I'm sorry. Did you just say I'm not going to give this theory and then give the theory immediately?
Right.
No, I'm not going to go into all this. There's all the reasoning behind it too and all that stuff.
So, but this is your theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a whole line of reasoning too. So I like that whatever he says here could be contributed to the whole, oh, we have a relationship, you and I. You're the guy who's supposed to get the thing for me to do the thing. And that never happened. You ultimately did not get it for me because of various things and stuff like that. I purposely DM'd it to her because I needed to get it out, knowing full well I would never have time to talk about it on the show. And maybe I'll publish it somewhere down the line. I'll just copy paste the text. I was upset because somebody else had said it, but never went into their reasoning for it. But somebody said it randomly out loud for some reason. I was like, you cannot, you don't. I have reasons. And you didn't really say them. But now you're like, oh, I said it all along. I'm like, no, I have timestamps. Okay, I have timestamps.
Rick Grimes is still alive.
Bree Grimes is still alive. It's the helicopter, right? We said on the podcast before it was.
I'm having PTSD flashbacks.
You saw the 3 circles on the can
No
of
one
peaches.
said he wasn't alive. Everyone knows he's alive. It doesn't mean what you think it means. Anyway, sorry. It's flashback a couple years there.
It's crazy. It's been,
I know.
what, 7 years almost?
Okay, so Francis is going to that point. Have they covered anything with Coop after the bombs drop when he takes the daughter in the horse? It seems like there's a huge gap there, and I don't think Coop was laying in that grave for years. See, in this, I talked about this in the last episode about how, wait, I kind of want to examine that part where they resurrect him. But then we also have to get to the point where the bombs drop, where he's with Janie. How does that event
I no longer
happen?
understand how that fits into any of the story. That's how he fell from Hollywood fame.
Grace. Yeah.
Right? And then I'm guessing that in order to play this up, they had to get divorced. His wife has to claim she didn't know anything about this, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, how do we get
Which
to
explains
this point?
it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of detail that we don't have.
Francisco says Coop is already the Fallout guy. Him being the courier would be silly. Disagree. I'll let you into that to my reasoning. He can't be the 2 things, can he? Have you ever played Legend of Zelda? You can be a lot of things. Anyway, like all the endings matter now.
Dave, why is Zelda always the game that you're talking about though?
It's very accessible.
We're talking about Fallout. And he's like, Hyrule.
I don't have any Fallout knowledge in Legend of Zelda. Hey, listen.
Hey,
Bridget.
listen.
By the way, every time I hear that, I get a little sad because of the next because Majora's Mask.
I can't. I'm sorry.
It just flies away.
It drove me so crazy.
I know. See, it did. And then when you finally, Navi finally goes away.
Thank God.
It's like
bye, Navi.
sad.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, bitch. Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with not talking more about Hank. And I think that's really, we kind of went the distance on that. It was slightly emotional. I thought him pushing his own button to end him was, if in fact he was.
See what I mean?
Right?
It's less impactful if it doesn't actually do anything. And it like takes all of the sentiment out of it. And you're like, wow.
Well, now I feel silly.
Wow, he's
now
just a prick. Yeah, he's just a prick. Oh, okay.
He was always
so
been a
just want to see the best in people.
What? Me?
Yeah.
No, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, that's what I'm known for. Yeah.
I don't trust it.
That's what I'm known for, is seeing everyone as good. Yeah, sure, okay.
This is why I love this podcast, because we don't have to come from the same place. We just go in the middle.
We
I
never
feel silly.
do. We never do.
Which is perfect. Some viewer occupies one strata of thought here. Comparing Zelda with Fallout is like comparing ice cream with steak.
Yep.
He's right.
Yeah. You ever had steak scream?
Ew.
No, it's usually dead and can't scream when I eat it.
Oh, it's ideal. It's like gach. Star Trek. One thing that we should probably point out is, okay, obviously there was the iBot in the Enclave. In the distance where you see the iBot, there's the train yard, right? It looks like a warehouse facility with a train yard depot.
I thought it looked almost identical to where they kept
Wilzig. It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the same place. Yeah. Okay. But you see one of the trains, and on the back of the train, obviously has the Enclave logo, which they didn't show so much in the first season because everything was kind of cleverly covered up. But they'd also said live cargo, which I thought was very funny.
Okay.
Considering the scientists and stuff like that, mutants, right? Super mutants. But the thing I wanted to get to was, as you hear Stephanie Harper checking in, Hank checking in, obviously Hank in the beginning of the season, like I had predicted, wasn't phoning Robert House. He was phoning the Enclave all along.
Think so, yeah.
Definitive now.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that it's definitive because Norm didn't call them.
How dare you? Norm didn't call them.
I'm just saying they could just be listening in. Maybe they have taps on everything or whatever. They're listening in for this particular family for whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, and then it goes to your synth theory about Norm. It's fine.
That's not what I said.
I'm kidding. It was Karina.
That wasn't my theory. That's not even Karina's theory. It's the internet's theory.
But I do think he was specifically checking in with the president, the sir, in the reporting for duty, sir, for sure. It's not House. He's not calling House. Doesn't want anything to do with House.
Or yeah.
True.
I don't think so
also,
either.
they gave him the technology. Robco gave Vault-Tec the automated man technology for the cold fusion. Your purposes for my purposes. But he thought he was dealing with Vault-Tec. He didn't know he was dealing with Vault-Tec's investors, quote unquote. Okay. But as we zoom out and we're hearing the chatter that overlaps with one another, where is this place located? Seems
Colorado.
like a snowy mountain valley of some kind. if that's where Coop is headed, they might be on a collision course with one another at this point. And who knows? This could be a Wilzig situation, because how is Barb introduced to the Enclave but with Wilzig? Perhaps even this series laid quite the groundwork for Barb to get Wilzig to defect, to give the cold fusion to Robert House. This sounds like the end of the Haggadah on Passover, where they talk about the lone kid, and ultimately the lone kid is slaughtered by the hands of God. And it goes through all the steps of how the kid, so the God had the lightning, and the lightning struck the water washed away the... Anyway, whatever. So Barb could have sent Wilzig with the cold fusion to the NCR to do the thing, to eventually get to Robert House, because NCR, really? With them having cold fusion? Please. No.
And would have been delivered by none other than her husband, but she doesn't even know that he's alive.
She knows.
Right.
You think she knows?
She knows.
She might not know.
She's in cryo somewhere.
She could be.
She could still be
We're going to find
sleepy.
her. She's really old. She's been awake for like
And it's
30
Barv.
years.
That could
And
be.
Charity's-
Stop it with that theory.
It's her, yeah.
Charity's theory is correct.
Charity's theory from season 1 is
I
right.
hope
She's
that
an
comes
old
around.
lesbian.
Checks out.
I mean, that happens in Fallout 4.
Everybody liked that.
Oh, yeah, we all liked that. Okay, cool.
I just checked. The game said so. No, so I just recall, okay, because we're at the end of this season. And the end of last season, it's chaos until you find out somebody's behind the wheel. Cooper Howard says this as the ghoul. Wouldn't it be funny if Barb, not Barv, was behind the wheel on this one? That she drove that bus at least from within the Enclave. She's a part of it. She did a job for the Enclave, or technically is part of it. The Enclave influenced her. Wilzig at the time, who was with the Enclave at the time, influenced her to say, hey, we should drop the bomb. Hey, why not? It should be us, guys.
Yeah.
So maybe that was like, yeah, you're part of the club now. Your husband's in jail, but you're part of the club. There you go.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Francisco has a very interesting general question I think would probably be a good wrap-up question. Do you think every video game adaptation should be like Fallout moving forward? Or do you think not a lot of video games will be good like Fallout where they respect the lore? So Francisco's asking this because he feels like Amazon is going to screw up the God of War series.
Oh, that's right.
And I will say, prior to the last, if I'm being generous, let's say 5 years, most video game adaptations were done a la Resident Evil.
Mila Jovovich?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Love Mila. She's great. The movies are definitely their own thing. Do they really relate to the video games? No.
Netflix
Not
series
really.
was pretty good, though.
Not really.
Not everybody liked it. It's the last appearance of Lance Reddick before he passed.
Oh, yeah, that's sad.
I enjoyed it. I know that the gamers panned it to death. Anyway.
Prior to that, video game adaptations were bought at probably a fairly good rate with the hopes that they would turn a quick dime in Hollywood. And people just felt like, well, I don't even really have to follow the plot line because who cares? It's just a video game, which isn't true because video games have intensely built lore and usually really good storylines, depending on the video game. Obviously, not all of them are great. So I would say it's definitely become a thing where people honor it more than they used to.
No,
Take a look at
absolutely.
Fallout. Fallout's done really well.
Last of
It's
Us.
fairly open,
Twisted
too.
Metal has done fairly well for a game that's not really about all that much.
I have to watch season 2 still.
Anthony Mackie?
It was pretty funny and pretty good.
Yeah, I like that
As
show.
long as you Z Nation it in your brain, don't take it too seriously.
I never saw Z Nation.
The video game itself can't be taken seriously, so how could you take an adaptation about it seriously?
Because it tries to at some points, and it works sometimes.
Iron Lung that just came out this past weekend by Markiplier follows that game's lore
That's
to
crazy.
a
I've heard
T.
about that.
Almost just watching the game just in a live action format.
It's setting records right now, Dave.
It is, and it
It's
was
set
really
at
good.
this moment to gain 7 times its original investment.
That's
For an indie
entirely
film
independent.
is crazy.
Indie in every way. He financed the whole thing himself. He didn't really do any marketing. He just relied on his fan base, and he pushed it to theaters by himself. He had a team, but he didn't
He
go through the
literally had
studios
no
in any way.
support from entertainment media
Yep.
No.
until after it was released, basically.
Correct.
Of course.
Yeah, that's how I knew about it. I was
Well,
like, oh,
people
wait,
are going to
what?
cling on to his coattails now.
Of course. I
We'll
think,
see.
I think
We'll see.
Mark will, based on who he is and what he's done in the past, will be like, no, I'll just keep doing it myself.
Yeah.
Because I like
As
doing
he
it
should.
that
I
way.
agree.
Yeah.
As he
He's
should.
gonna wreck the
Mark's got a
industry,
lot of
basically.
integrity. And I think if he'd abandon that, he'd lose a lot of his fan base.
It's not about that. It's about do I do it the industry way or do I not? Or do I
That
continue
too, yeah.
paving this way?
Mhm.
Yeah. Less integrity, but more about like, why am I going to adhere to the old rules, the
Anyway,
old ways?
one of the other shows that's done really well was The Witcher. Now, granted, they lost Henry Cavill, and so there's some arguments to be made there. They're really pushing the other characters now. It's a whole thing. It kind of became its own mess. It started off super strong.
It did, yeah.
So if we're thinking like just that first season, like how well written it had been, everything was really good about it. So I would think that as long as they don't get too in their heads about what do the public want and the whole like overproduction that ends up happening when like studios get involved, I think there can be really good things made. We just kind of have to wait. Francisco, I agree with you. A lot of my beef is forcing in things that just don't really need to exist when you could make brand new characters that actually mean something to represent other demographics. That would be
to go back to the thing that got us onto here. You mentioned how Amazon Prime will take their take on the God of War series. The lead character being played by Beta himself from The Walking Dead, Ryan Hurst.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I didn't know.
Did you know that?
That's a great casting.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that was the first thing they said.
That is
actually,
a
right out of the
really
gate.
good casting.
Even the voice actor for Kratos gave his blessing. He's like, he's going to do awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, he's gonna be good.
Awesome.
He's gonna be really
That
good.
is great that they did that. Because then people will be like, whoa. And yeah, I hear you, Francisco, on the Witcher stuff. Evelyn and I talked about it because we watched the show, but we're not going to get into that. We're going to try
We
to
don't
wrap
need
up.
to. It's the same thoughts that are thrown across the internet. Everyone said it already.
Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back after these messages. We just thought we'd remind you to show this episode some love by tapping that like button, if there's one to be tapped, subscribing to our podcast or channel, and if available, enabling all notifications, and sharing the show, or clips of it, with everyone you know. And don't be afraid to reach out. Leave your questions, feedback, ideas, or even concerns in the comments section. There isn't one? Head on over to ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead and leave your thoughts there. Rating our podcast is the best way to get our attention because it also boosts our visibility. And we'll probably address it in the next episode too. And if you think there's something to what we're doing here at Squawking Dead, tip us over on Ko-fi. As a token of our appreciation, you'll receive forever access to our Discord, along with 30 days access to our uncut episode and interview recordings, plus our pre-squawk insights. Take your support further. Join a membership tier on either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead, and you'll unlock access to more channels on our Discord server, receive shoutouts at the end of every episode, and depending on what tier you join, the ability to join us on camera and mic to break down future episodes alongside us. Thank you for hearing us out and making it this far into the episode. We now return you to our regularly scheduled podcast.
I'm glad you brought up the God of War series because I meant to bring that up at some point, as sometimes I give you news. However, also there's another thing that we need to bring up, and that is season 5 of Dark Winds was announced before season 4 started airing, which I love. I love that for them.
Okay.
AMC is back. Baby, we're back.
They're spoiling themselves already.
That's fine with me.
Classic AMC.
It sends a signal to the industry. This show is doing so well. Hey, there's another season of it, so it makes people want to watch it even more. It's kind of cool.
Well, I'll have to go check it out.
Jason, I assume you're going to be around for that.
I am, yeah. That's how I found you guys.
Yeah, I know.
This channel was
I know.
because of Dark Winds, yeah.
So I was excited
you guys
when
had the best coverage.
when we were moving on to
Thank
when
you.
it like started
That
coming up
means a
again.
lot.
I was like, oh, Jason's actually going to
Yeah,
be
it's coming
here
around
for
full
this.
circle, yeah.
AMC announced Rick's return yet? Wait, wrong timeline. Thanks.
I'm
for
going to
sharing.
try to stick
Something's
with as
coming.
many episodes as I can, but I will have to leave mid Dark Winds season, which makes me
Okay.
very sad.
And I have a vacation right when the first
When it
episode
starts,
drops.
you said, right?
Yeah. So
Bridges,
maybe
just
we can get
record
that
your
out.
thoughts with a little voice recorder and send them to David, then we'll play them during episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Like I even have time to watch the episodes. Like
When does this start?
the 15th, not this weekend, but the weekend after. Honestly, Rob, each season is its own story because they're all
Okay.
based on novels.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Yeah.
don't feel like you have to watch them. You don't. I think you could step in and it would probably be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the most part, right, Dave?
It's like picking up a book mid-series. There's going to be some background stuff with some of the characters that you're maybe not totally privy to. However, they're going to cover some of it again. It's going to be like hashed out again, like it is in a novel where they kind of like bring up stuff that you're like, oh, that must have happened previously or whatever. And then the main storyline is going to be a mystery, a murder most likely.
I'll let you know.
Mhm. And there's not that many episodes to really
There's not.
cover. It's like 8 per season.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe
They're short
6
seasons.
to 8.
Yeah, very,
6 to
very.
8.
It's the trend. I don't agree with them. Articles are starting to come out. It's like, bring back the 20 episode season.
No, thank you.
No, I'm actually fine.
No, thanks.
Less is definitely
Try
more.
doing a podcast and then tell me that you want 24
Yeah,
episodes.
that's part of the reason. Yes, self-interest.
I do miss the 16 episode Walking Dead seasons with the
And
break in
don't get
between.
me wrong, I do too. It's just I like that less is more. The reason why that worked is why. And actually, I think one would blame AMC for doing this, is that you had 8 episodes for the first half and 8 for the last half. Instead of doing that, you just have 8 episodes and then you just do a rock'em sock'em next season. And that's fine. I'm fine with that. It'll be like 23 seasons. That's all. It's fine.
Shogun.
So Francisco just said, are you guys going to cover Shogun season 2? Just started filming last month. I have to say, I'm very tempted. It is very good.
What is it even about?
I watched the first episode with my dad.
It's about history of Japan.
Yeah.
Tokugawa period.
Doesn't it kind of come out of left field for us, though?
It's action
You know what?
drama. Like
Here's what you should do.
Based off of a movie from back in the day, too.
Actually, factually true. Right. But it's like the blending of that movie, the premise of that movie with actual history to really bring out what happened in that time period where Portugal was not colonizing Japan, but they were kind of mixing with Japan and trying to establish trade and stuff like that, but also kind of trying to colonize Japan and then etc. And then England came into the mix. But there's an actual story there. I think you should watch it and you tell me, all of you out there, take your time. You got plenty of time.
Is there any horror leaning at all, mystery, anything to it that would make me feel... This sounds mainly historical, so I feel like it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the human drama. See, why do we like The Walking Dead is because of scarcity. There's also that pressure, that human pressure, where
That's
your life is
part
at
of
stake.
it, Dave, but the only reason I started watching it is because it's dystopian and it's zombies. So, like, I'm not saying that I'm not going to watch it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that it's applicable
It's
to
a
the
drama, but
podcast.
you know
That's
what?
all.
Just freaking
that's all I'm saying.
Don't overthink it. Otherwise, it's going to sound like I'm selling it to you. You'd be like, no,
Yeah,
I don't
here's
wanna
the
watch
other
it.
thing.
Oppositional defiance disorder.
Yeah, when am I
don't have
going to
it.
watch it? So I have zero time.
You'd be surprised. There are not that many
I'm still
episodes.
supposed to watch an episode of something tonight, and I can't because now it's 10. So
I
anyway,
didn't say watch it tonight.
I constantly have something to watch every night because of all the stuff that we cover.
Enjoy, everybody.
Yeah.
That said, thank you so very much for sticking with us, for joining us in our Breakdowns Whispers members, Rob and Jason, and for you out there covering our podcast. Francisco finally making it to one of the episodes. We miss you so much. Almost every single episode we were like, where's Francisco?
Right.
Not like accusatory. We were just like, we miss you. That's all. Your lack of presence was felt. But you're here now, and that's all that matters. Chaos, but there's always somebody behind the wheel. And that, I say, thank you. We realize that you have so many cool outlets to listen to this coverage from, but you made it here. You made it to the end to listen to me. Thank you for making it. I've been your host, David Cameo, and I was joined by Cosmom09 Rachel Burt, who simply had to sign off. She, too, thanks you. I'll speak for her. She says also, I'm tired. I want to go sleep. She was also joined by Karina, who you can reach on Instagram at Karina_D. That's CARINAE_D. Don't leave off the last D for drawings, which she does. And she also released a really, really cool painting of the ghoul, which I'm throwing up on the screen right now of her doodling it. Again, Karina is a very talented person. We should bring up her art more often. You were also joined by
Bridget. You can find me at ko-fi.com/punkybrewster. That's PUNKYBRUISETER.
Me, it's Jason. I'm at Neo's the One, and I just had a great time discussing the season with you guys.
And this person, Rob, at Rob Stuff and Things on TikTok and YouTube. Thanks for having me,
This
guys. It's been fun.
Oh, so much fun. And Francisco in the chat, this mother effer. We missed him. And all of you out there, yes, if you liked what we were doing, just tell us how much you did. Or if you didn't, even better. Actually, you guys suck. But you've got time, so much time in between now until Fallout Season 3 to do that. Take care, everybody. I enjoyed this very much. Thank you for joining us on this ride. And hey, stick around. We're going to be talking and reacting to the first watch reaction to A Night of the Seven Kingdoms 4th episode, which is very soon after the 3rd. I haven't even started editing that episode at all. Well, so it goes, everybody. Stay tuned for our conversations on Dark Winds Season 4 coming up very soon, as we just said. Stick around. There's more coming down the pike, like The Boys Season 5, the final season, which is coming out in April, as well as From coming around the same time in April. From Season 4.
Who are you going to cover it with?
Me. Cosmom09.
Just you. Just you. Because Rachel and Jeremy are going to do it.
Jason.
Oh, good.
And
Jason.
Rob,
Okay,
maybe.
I haven't seen that one either, so we'll see.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I can always pull a guest in from one of the other shows who love
Okay.
watching. Diana also, right?
Yeah,
Diana,
that's true.
Ruby from Sci-Fi Vision. Diana from Screens and Focus.
please,
I'm plugging our friends. You should check those guys out. If you're not going to be watching us because it's not on, well, check those guys out. They always have really cool ideas. They're throwing some cool new stuff. We're still doing stuff too. So stick around, folks. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
You rock,
Beep, beep,
Francisco.
beep, beep. That's all, folks. Thank you again for making it to the end of yet another episode of Squawking Dead. This one, Fallout's Season 2 finale, titled The Strip. There is so much to look forward to, which, of course, gives me so much anxiety, as we are still catching up with our workload, given the fact that A Night of the Seven Kingdoms released their 4th episode on Friday night, which does give us a little over a week to get that episode out. At present, it is the 10th of February, Tuesday night, and I'm just getting this episode out hopefully soon, which gives me a couple of days to get A Night of the Seven Kingdoms out and a little bit of housekeeping days after we recorded this episode. We discovered that we actually had screeners for Dark Winds Season 4, so we'll be hopefully attempting to record the Season 4 premiere in a couple nights. Of course, we can't make that session available to the public or even our members because there's no means for them to really understand what we're talking about. And we'll be discussing things that technically we're embargoed from really discussing. That said, with my vacation coming up next week, hopefully we'll have everything that we need out, including Dark Winds. We'll hopefully get that released soon after the episode airs on Sunday night, as well as the audio podcast the following morning, which leaves us only with A Night of the Seven Kingdoms to do our first watch reaction on Monday, with no hopes of releasing it in time for the next episode. Well, c'est la vie, everybody. C'est la vie. So it goes. I guess we'll just have to manage. Cross your fingers, wish us luck, and hey, if you are loving what you are hearing and want to hear more of it sooner and faster, the best way to make that happen is to support us by either tipping us or joining a membership on either Ko-fi or Patreon. It sends a signal that we're doing something right, and the more people that jive with what we're doing, even sending $1, 100 people just means a lot. And you've reached the part of this podcast where we acknowledge said supporters. Out loud, we acknowledge our Survivors and Whispers members, of which 2 were with us. It's a little perk that they receive when they join the Whispers and Survivors tier, namely Rob Lucchese, who you can reach on TikTok via @RobStuff_N as in Nancy _Thangs, THANGS, and Jason, who you can reach on Instagram via @Neos1, which is @NEOS1 HEONE. Let's not forget our pal Kim Rowley, who you can reach on Facebook via @Kim.Rowley1. I messaged Karina a couple times after this recording, basically pussyfooting the fact that we do miss her already, and of course she will be with us when we discuss The Last of Us's 3rd and actually it seems like, according to rumors, final season. I guess we'll have to see how that shakes out. It hasn't been 100% confirmed, but people have inferred from conversations that have happened over the last month that 3rd season will be the final one. And like I said, be sure to catch our 4th episode reaction and breakdown of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Should be coming up next in the rotation, and hopefully wish us luck on getting both A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Dark Winds for that little bit of overlap. Dark Winds, hopefully we will be kicking into overdrive and getting those episodes out to you because we have screeners ASAP after the episode airs for your listening pleasure. We'll have a little bit more time to break them down since we do have all the episodes of the season ready for us to actually break down. And if we can get those out before The Boys and From comes back, we'll be in a prime position to cover those as well. So I better get to it. Take care, everybody. You'll hear from us soon. I hope you hang in there with us and watch the shows that we watch so you can stay in touch with us. And if you don't, you can always keep in touch with us via social media. Head over to squawkingdead.com and follow us from there. And always remember, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, no matter how you keep in touch or if you don't, that we are Squawking Dead.